Hi there. You're watching Pop Culture Warrior. This is the way.
Hi there. It's your second favorite DP right here, okay? No, that's Deadpool, you silly little Hufflepuff. Anyways, I'm gonna need you to shut up that pretty little mouth of yours and pay attention because the show's about to start, alright? And, I don't know about you, but I know who's my vote for sexiest ex-soldier turned pop culture show host. Alright, enough foreplay. Let's get on with the show.
Broadcasting live from the basement of the Pentagon. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Hey everybody, welcome one and all. Today is November 14th, 2023. This is episode 151 of Pop Culture Warrior. It's the show where I stay up to date on all the ins and outs of what's happening in pop culture, so you don't have to. I am CQ, like the little box says. I am your Pop Culture Warrior. And joining me tonight is our very own man in the bubble. He's the Marine with the mouth. Ladies and gentlemen, Mad Mike.
Ladies and gentlemen. Not gonna do it.
Just
Not
once.
gonna happen.
Just
Not gonna
once.
happen.
Just want a little bit of energy coming in, and you know, I'm and match my level of enthusiasm.
No. Can't do it. It's not on my contract.
But one day I just want one of these, like, hello.
Yeah, I need to get a swivel chair. I'm on a couch. I need
Just
a
have a
swivel
cat
chair.
and stroking it.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Hairless cat.
Hey everybody. What's happening, folks? If you're out there, let us know you're watching, man. Say what's up. Let us know. I see Angry Elf. I see Captain Wayne. I see Heath. What's going on, peoples? Lots to talk
Hey,
about.
Captain. I don't know.
Oh, Captain, my Captain. Dude, so much.
Or is he like Captain Morgan?
It's he's Captain Wayne Baconator is what he goes by.
It's a
Definitely
good name.
feeling it.
It's a solid name.
Solid name.
Family name.
Angry Elf wants to know if we have it in the budget to get you a gram of Coke for the show. Just
Well, Patreon subscriptions go a long way. Just saying.
those Patreon subscriptions go right up my nose. What can I say? I want to apologize to all the people for this just disaster that's going on right now. I'm in what we lovingly refer to as the ugly phase of growing a beard. This is that in between, like clean shaven. This is when the stubble gets just it's unruly. It's yeah. A week or two, it'll be right in and it'll be good to go. But yeah, this is. I was gonna have a guest tonight, and I'm like, I can't be seen like this. I can't. No, God forbid, it's one of the greatest interviews I ever do, and then this is what I'll look like in perpetuity. No.
Well, when your gray hair matches the complexion of your skin, you might have a problem.
Listen. You got jokes. Anyway, any whizzle. Lots to talk
What's
about.
the nizzle?
First off, the strike is over. Literally hours after we got off the show.
Over?
The automotive strike. Oh man.
The derailment train is on.
I'm telling you, literally hours after we got off the show last week, it was announced that the strike was over. It was such huge news. There's a tentative deal in place. We're going to talk all about that because it's really important to see, and show what they won, what they fought for, and what they won. But first, because I promised to talk about it at the end of at the top of the show, I have a Patreon. We've joked about it, and I mean, amazing, incredible supporters on the Patreon, and I got called out. By a good buddy of mine because he's like, dude, like nothing's come out on the Patreon. Nothing like there's been no updates. I was being very regular with it. Now, mind you, I have been traveling nonstop for the last month. So that's part of an excuse. But the reality is, yeah, I haven't been on top of it, and I got to be better at that. And I've decided how I'm going to make up for it. Now, I haven't even put it on the Patreon yet, but I'm going to put it up right after this show. And I'm also going to make clips of this and use these clips to promote it in a way to make up for what I feel is a lack of content that I put on the Patreon. I'm going to do my biggest giveaway ever. I'm going to go full tilt, right? Because I feel like
somebody's house and spend a day with them.
Yes. Hi, Jenny. There's Jenny in the chat. Hey, Jenny.
Need a little scroller like what Mad Mike says.
Mad Mike says.
No,
Is it pop
means or ways represents.
Yes. Nothing he says represents the whatever. So check it. Like, because it was sitting on my mind and it was kind of rattling around. So all right, I haven't really posted much. I said, plus we got the holidays coming up, and I get very charitable, giveawayable in the holidays. And then I said, okay, and also it's my birthday coming up, the big one of the big ones. And then on top of that, I was like, okay, it's also the show's birthday. Show's turning 4, by the way. Happy birthday, show. That in 2 months. So I'm going to do the biggest giveaway I've ever done. And it's going to be lots of prizes, lots of things.
Oprah big or like...
Well, I mean, come on. I don't got Oprah level money. but for this show, it's Oprah big. It'll be tons of stuff. But the key, because remember, whenever I do prize boxes, I always like to say I give an original piece of art. I give, some merchandise. I always give something autographed. Well, for this giveaway, the autographed item will be an Avengers poster signed by Robert Downey Jr. So I am giving away my Iron Man signed Avengers poster. I have it. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous.
I'm gonna have to renew my Patreon
You're
subscription.
gonna have to renew the Patreon subscription. So what it will be, I feel like the fairest way to do this is from
Patreon
December,
only.
huh? Was that?
Patreon only.
It's going to be Patreon only. So only for the Patreon subscribers, just because they've been so awesome and so supportive. So if you are a Patreon member from December 1st to January 30th, it's a 2-month period. So I figure it's because in my mind, it's like you're closing out the year with us and you're starting the new year with us, right? If you're a member on the Patreon Pop Culture or patreon.com/Pop Culture War, if you're a member of the Patreon from December through January, you will be entered into this giveaway. One person will win this. This is going to someone who is a Patreon member. And when I do this, because there's 3 tiers in the Patreon. So, if you're in tier 1, you will get 1 entry. If you're tier 2, you will get 2 entries. If you're tier 3, you will get 3 entries into this giveaway. And we'll do that live. We'll do it live. We will pick the winner live here on this show, January 30th, the day before my birthday. So we will do that live. We will pick a winner, and I'm very excited because it's going to be, honestly, go online, try to find an Avengers poster signed by Robert Downey Jr. and see how much that goes for. Okay? And then tell me, the Patreon membership isn't worth it at a chance to win that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but is it like $15 or something? It ain't much.
That's right. I was going to say, not the poster, but the Patreon membership.
Yeah,
The Patreon membership, yeah.
I start all my sentences mid-thought,
Yeah.
by the way.
Yeah. We've
yeah.
learned that. We've learned that here on the show.
You could totally get a Robert Downey Jr. Avengers posters for $14.99.
And we're not talking these little mini posters, right? I'm talking theatrical, movie-sized poster. The poster you see up when you go to the theaters and they got coming soon posters. One of those.
Not a Wish poster.
Yes. It is a real. This poster came straight from Marvel.
Looking over at it. It's on.
I'm literally looking over Can you notice? I keep looking over it. I'm like,
yeah, he's like, yeah, there. I'm gonna have to figure out what to put there.
Yeah, I'll figure out something.
Side picture of me signed by me.
So that's the big thing. This will be the biggest giveaway I've done by far. It will be only for Patreon
anything
members.
Else in there, or is that it?
No. I'm gonna make it a real something. Because here's the thing: I have to roll up the poster, put it in a case so it doesn't get damaged. And if I'm gonna do that, I might as well make a box of it and throw in a bunch of other stuff. So
like your Ryan Reynolds poster.
No, you don't. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. No, sir.
They gave you another one, right? Or no?
No, I only got the damaged one.
Yeah. That's okay.
But no, I got my money back, though. So I got a free damaged Ryan Reynolds signed Deadpool poster.
Yeah, it's like every 1 inch there was a crease.
Yeah, it was like a wrinkly poster. It adds flavor to the poster. It's not all smooth and pretty. It's all wrinkly, like his skin. See, it's representative of Deadpool's skin, and it's like all damaged. That's what
Reminds
it is.
you of how the postal system works.
Yes. So okay, let's see if so let's see. WTF Ice is like, what? Yes, that's happening. Yes, and for those of you want to cancel your subscription, your Patreon subscription February 1st, you can do that. You can absolutely do that. But
will we hold it against you? You're damn right we will.
We will. We will have your names. Let's see.
Well,
Get the way says, hey, just wondering, I lost my Fisker loppers. Just wondering if anyone's seen it. What the Fisker loppers?
Not gonna Google it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna Google that. I don't know what's gonna come out. Any other questions? Any other questions? Any other questions? No, I have a tattoo of Iron Man on my leg. Hey, Keith. Yeah. All right. So lots. Yeah. So that will be, and I'll probably announce more stuff that we'll add, but that's obviously going to be the big ticket item for that giveaway. And that is just my way of saying thank you to all the Patreon supporters who've.
So you can do more news in there too, or no? Just
I don't know, man. I got to figure
just
out.
give stuff away.
Just give
so you
stuff
don't
away,
have to-
really.
so you don't have to do any work.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think people are going to complain about that. Like, you know,
Here's your big news for December. Santa Claus is coming.
Santa Claus is coming to your face. No, I gotta realistically, dude. And maybe me and you can talk offline about this. Is I gotta figure out what's a cool way to use the Patreon platform because it's different. A lot of times, I've seen people use it to like if they make, let's say they make movies or like movie shorts, then they use that as like a place to put in like bloopers or deleted scenes or things like that. Or if it's a super popular podcast, well, they'll use the Patreon as like a members only area where like you can do one-on-ones and they'll do Q&As and answers and to things like that. So I got to
Let
figure out.
somebody sit in and watch the magic happen.
I mean, that's part of it too. So there's a lot of ways, and I've wanted to think about how to best utilize that platform and to engage the people that support us. But yeah. Anyway, that's that.
We'll work on it.
We'll figure it out. So yes, let's get into it. The strike is over. God bless it. Thank God the strike is over. There's so
What did
many.
they win? Tell them what they won.
Well, tell them what they won, Johnny. Hey, Joe, how's it going, man? Let's see. Okay, so strike's over. Union representing performers last week approved a tentative agreement with Hollywood studios, leaders of the Screen Actors Guild, American Federation of Television and Radio Artists, also known as SAG-AFTRA, characterized the deal as a big win, with the contract achieving significant breakthroughs on actors' pay and putting guardrails on the industry's use of generative AI. So here's a quick rundown of what they won under the new contract. Pending ratification, right? The lawyers have to approve, they have to sign off on it, but this is the tentative deal. So number one, there's like 6 major tentpoles here. Number one, a minimum compensation increase. So performers will earn a 7% wage increase effective immediately. The initial pay hike will be followed by a 4% increase in July of next year and a 3.5 increase July of the following year. So you're talking 7% now, plus another 4% next year, and another 3.5% the year after.
So they just got cost of living. Okay, cool.
I mean, a lot of these guys, that's a big win.
It's like 15% like last year's like first time in 15 years. So
I
guess
mean,
everyone
but
gets their due.
for the actors, that's a huge win. These guys were not in a livable wage situation. So
It's still not a livable wage. Sorry to
it's getting
break it
closer.
to you.
Getting
If
closer.
you're making 30, what would they say like the lowest paid people were like 35, 40 grand?
Something like that, yeah. Well, I mean,
You're
but
only
again,
getting, like,
so whatever they were
15%
making
of that.
already, pre-strike, whatever they were making, obviously they were okay with it because they were taking it as a job. So getting 7% more than that, plus another 4% than that, and another 3.5 on that, I mean, that's a win. It says also background actors, stand-ins, and photo doubles will immediately earn an 11% wage increase, followed by the same 4% and 3.5 in the 24-25. So,
Sounds like they got the better team.
well,
They
you
get
could look at it that way, but we're talking performers are the ones making maybe $1,000 to $100,000 an episode. Stand-ins are making like $500 for the day.
An hour.
Oh
yeah.
they these guys will make $500 a day for doing a couple hours and just sitting around. So an 11% increase, while sounds very high compared to the performers, they also get paid a lot less, and they don't tend to see a lot of the residuals that a lot of these major performers get. So number
they
2,
don't get any, do they? I guess
they'll
that's a
get
question to
if
ask.
you're seen on TV in an episode, you will get residuals. Now, I think you have to have or do you have to have a line? I got to talk to a buddy of mine. A buddy of mine is He does background work and a lot of stuff like that. I gotta ask him if he gets residuals. Or I think you need a line. I think you need a line
These
in
are
the
the
episode.
things we need to know.
These are the things we're gonna learn. We're gonna learn together. So number 2, streaming bonuses. This was a huge point of contention. The new contract calls for actors to earn a success payment along with the usual residual payments if they work on streaming projects that attract a significant number of views. The success metric is determined by the following formula: total number of domestic streaming hours over the first 90 days divided by the total runtime of the movie/television series episodes to determine domestic views. The success metric is calculated by dividing the domestic views by the total number of domestic subscribers. If the result is at least 0.2, a bonus is paid. 75% of any bonus money will go to the performer, with the remainder going into a new streaming payment distribution fund to compensate performers who work on streaming shows. That's a huge win. These guys were not getting paid for the success of their streaming shows. And networks were being really underhanded by sliding shows. They would go, okay, Westworld, one of the greatest, most popular shows. Well, now you're done and we're going to put you on Max. And it's like, wait, what? Because they don't have to pay the residuals for it being on Max. That's why. You said, look like you were about to say
They have
something.
like a fund. Yeah, they have a fund like Social Security now.
Yeah.
Streaming fund. Like,
Yeah. I mean, it's something.
it's like they're just gonna dump a ton of money in it and then pay out.
Well, I think that's going to be for those people that are specifically on streaming. So like shows like Orange is the New Black, which was never in movie theaters, which was never on TV, and was solely a streaming show. Those kind of performers are not getting the residuals that other performers are getting. So I bet you a large chunk of that, fund will go to those kind of performers that are strictly on,
Yeah, but
these
is
kind
it
of shows.
yearly or like it said a payment from the fund? But
I'm sure they'll.
is that yearly
I-
or a one-time deal?
Dude, do I look like I wrote the fucking contract? I don't know.
I
man.
don't know. They need to get with their lawyers. You better figure that out.
Oh man.
I'm available.
Yeah, Keith says, yeah, usually speaking roles is where things kick in. That's what we're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, that stuff. So number 3, disclosure of viewership stats. Again, this was a really big one. On high budget streaming productions, streaming producers will be required to disclose the total number of hours the content was streamed both in the US and Canada and abroad for each quarter. That's intended to help actors determine if they're being fairly compensated relative to a show's distribution and popularity. The streamers did not have to share the viewership hours of a show. So when you got shows like Orange is the New Black, and they're like, yeah, it's the number 1 show 4 years running, but they never actually stipulated what were the watch hours. And that's how people get their residuals, based on watch hours. And so if you don't have those stats, they go,
That's what I want to see because it's like I feel like they just put whatever the new stuff they have out as the number 1 show. It's like, is this really?
I mean, well,
Like,
technically it
like
is.
some
If
of
it's-
those shows, you're like, really?
Well,
Really?
but okay, so here's the funny thing. So it's the underhanded nature of the business. If they put out a new show, everybody automatically clicks on it, right? It's like, oh, it's a new show. They try it out. It's not that this
Not
is
me.
a good show. It's just the most new show of the day.
They
You know what I
count
mean?
like the trailer people watch.
Yeah.
Like, here's what's new, and you watch a trailer, and it's like that counts.
Yeah,
number
like,
1 show.
realistically, like every show they put out is the number 1 show because it's a new thing. And you're like, oh shit, a new thing. And you watch it. And then even whether you watch it or not, they'll count that as like, yeah, look,
Like
somebody
when
watched
you're
it.
scrolling through Facebook and you see our show live and you watch it for more than 8 seconds.
It counts.
as a view. That's what they're doing.
Counts a
Number
view.
1 show.
That's it. Number 1 show.
On Netflix.
Ice threw in so together, this is what he put. Together, the gains achieved in the contract are expected to generate over $1 billion in new compensation and funding to the benefit plans. It's huge. It's huge.
Huge.
Okay, so number 4, like I said, we got 6 things. Number 4, limits on artificial intelligence. And this one had a lot of people scared. Film and TV producers must obtain consent from actors to create and use their digital replicas, as well as specify how they intend to use the digital likeness. Actors are entitled to compensation at their usual rate for the number of days they would have otherwise been paid to do the work performed by a digital replica. So in essence, these people are getting paid as if they had done the work, regardless of if they did or did not.
You know, I would just take so long to do anything if I was an actor right now. Like, oh, I'm gonna do this, and you're gonna do it AI. Like we can't use Mad Mike. That guy takes 4 days to do 1 hour's worth of work.
Yeah.
Like moving in slow motion and stuff.
Or, standard government employee,
Yeah.
is this the
I
standard?
think I learned it from.
Yep. So number 5, the minimum. Now here we get into some of the smaller points, but the minimum number of background actors. So the new labor contract requires that an increased number of background actors must be hired on union terms on the West Coast to equal the minimum number in New York. So apparently there was 2 different minimums required for background actors on a set. Yeah.
That's so weird.
It's weird. It's always weird. Under the new agreement on TV shows in West Coast cities, 25 background actors, up from 22, which it used to be, will be recovered by the contract. For feature films, the West Coast minimum jumps from 57 to 85. 85 is now the minimum background actors for. And I think, again, this is a way for the studios to show we're going to support more actors, right? Because if you think about movies over the last, I don't know how many, years, like outside of your 5 principal actors, there's not a lot of, unless it's like, showing the troops storming Normandy, right? Like storming the beaches of Normandy. There's just not a lot of those big set pieces anymore. It's a lot, and
digital, like AI, virtual reality room stuff.
Yeah, it's digital stuff, it's CGI stuff, and it's also just an effort to not have to pay people. You know what I mean? So forcing this minimum to rise means more people are going to have opportunities for jobs. So good for them. And then the last thing, again, kind of a small thing, but makes sense for what a lot of these companies are, again, to get tax breaks, right? They're filming in Atlanta, they're filming in Canada, they're filming in New Zealand and Australia to get these tax breaks. So as part of the new contract, relocation bonus. Performers in a series who have to relocate for work will be entitled to a maximum relocation benefit of up to $5,000 a month for 6 months, which is a 200% increase on the previous amount. We had on this show Bradley Constant, who was on that show, The Young Rock, and he talked about. He said 6-8 months out of the year he lived out in Hawaii because that's where they were filming, right? Which is it's awesome. You're living out in Hawaii, but when you realize a lot of those living expenses are coming out of their own pocket, you know what I mean? These guys are not being compensated for being away from home. Like, oh, you have a job, you're here, you're getting paid to be here. That's your compensation. And it's like, no.
He's breaking even. He's working another job out there.
Exactly. So, the fact that now they'll be compensated a relocation benefit of up to $5,000 a month for 6 months is huge. That's a huge win for the industry. So, again, huge bucket of win.
It's huge
for the actors, which a lot of us, friends of the show, we support them. It's been a tough couple months. Like, I feel so bad because, these people are really out there struggling and striking and hitting the pavement. I'm like, it's been so hard. We haven't talked about movies or TV.
Yeah.
It's been
really
really
much
hard on us.
crap we had to dig up to talk about for the last 3 months, you jerks.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You put the
It was
burden
great.
all on us. We're freaking talking about playing cards and crap.
Oh, God.
We
I don't
did
know
a
what to
whole
talk about. It's
3
been great.
episodes on the new iPhone, for crying out loud. Next week, we're going to have a UPS driver in here.
The regional distribution manager. Put some respect on that title.
Who's the head of the Postmaster General
Postmaster
was
General.
following up.
We couldn't get him, man. We tried.
The struggle is real.
We tried to get the Postmaster General, and he did not return our calls. So it's all right.
We're gonna have a guy that whittles Marvel characters.
Yes. No, we can't
That's what
talk about
we're
we can't
now.
talk about Marvel. He whittles superhero like characters. Anyway. So given that we can finally talk about everything that's happened over the last few months, a couple things, because it was just I had to keep it like locked up in here. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, phenomenal, loved it, just so good, and so excited to see. Now delayed because of the strike. They had to stop voice recording because of the strike. So we'll see it probably 2025, early 2025 instead of 2024.
Yeah, when nobody will remember anything.
No,
Way to make the money grab. We could have
it's a
done one
great-
movie, but you had to break it up to do two because you need money and you have
Yes.
no other material.
First of all, it was a
Jerks.
phenomenal movie. Listen, I don't care. Even your
Would they
cranky
have done it all in one movie? You're
snarkiness.
damn right they could have.
No,
Yeah, they
not at all.
could've. It was
Nope.
a lot of time. I'm like, holy shit, are we gonna wrap it up? I
There,
had my
it's
little
getting-
box. I'm like, wrap it up, bitch.
Let's go. So okay, what about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem? Was not expecting to enjoy it as much as I did. What did
Yeah.
you think?
It was really good. I liked it. The drawings
The drawings? Mhm.
were weird. Like they tried to do the Spider-Verse shit, and it was just
I don't think it was necessarily a Spider-Verse thing. I think they were going for a comic
it was kind of a rip
shell kind of style. The cell, like the comic cells, I think is the style
Yeah.
they were trying to go for.
No, they were ripping it off.
Of course. I mean, I think both are Sony properties, I think. So I think Sony released
Was
both
it?
of
I
them.
thought it was Universal.
Is it Universal? Yeah, it's probably Universal. Anyway,
Who knows? But yeah, it was surprisingly good. I was kind of pissed when they're like, oh, well, first of all, it's like they're making another Ninja. I ordered Pizza Hut, and the Ninja Turtles were on the box, and I was like, "There's a Ninja Turtle movie coming out." And then I
Yeah.
googled it, and I was like, "Son of a gun!" If
Yeah.
only there was a show where people talk about these things.
Well, we were on strike at the time. We couldn't talk about it.
We were
So
gagged.
we
But
had
yeah,
a
it
gag in
was
our
good.
mouth, and we were on strike. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great. Not what I was expecting.
Yeah,
I
they did
thought-
a unique approach.
Yes.
and they made it their own. It's
Yes.
not just rehashing, the old crap.
Yes, absolutely. I think the dynamics were different. I don't know if I could tell it was a Seth Rogen production. I don't know if you could
Oh yeah.
like a lot of the humor and the comedy in it. Like again, not and I don't mean that in a bad way, but I could very much tell
You're
that
just waiting for a turtle dick or something. That's like the director's cut.
I love or and oh my god, when you hear Seth Rogen's voice too, like all these all these actors did so well to like really portray the cat, and then you just hear Seth Rogen,
It's just
and it's like Jesus, man, did you even try? You
No,
try?
Have you seen? No, he doesn't try at all.
just like, hi, I'm Seth Rogen. I mean, Rocksteady, like or whatever the hell he was.
He's
Bebop.
got a show I've been watching on Apple. I can't
Oh,
remember the name
Platonic.
of it. Platonic.
Yeah.
And like the shit he wears in that, I'm like, he just showed up
He
with
just
what he
shows-
was gonna wear
They're
that
like,
day.
Roll it.
Yeah,
roll
like he was like, there's no wardrobe. It's just him, like how he naturally dresses, which is
Yeah.
like shit.
Yeah. Oh, and Ice. I see
Anyways.
he's the Marvels. We're gonna talk about the Marvels here in a second. I'm trying to go backwards in time. I'm like, what did we
There
miss
was
over the last
so
couple
much,
months?
well, like
There was so
8
much.
months,
Uh,
6 months.
Twisted Metal on Peacock, which I
didn't
thought
watch it.
was
You
I thought
watched
it was the dumbest premise. I was like, how are you gonna take? I actually kind of enjoyed it. It was like a guilty pleasure kind of a watch.
Yeah, but it wasn't anything to do with the game. It was
It
just the
really-
name
well,
and the
that's-
ice cream man.
So the interesting thing there is I feel like season 1 of Twisted Metal was basically almost like a prequel to the game. Because where you I mean, again, not to spoil things, but it's been out for a while now. where you end at the end of the first season, they're basically like, we're gonna do a tournament, and it's like, and you're like, oh shit,
Kill each other. Okay.
yeah. So like, it's
I guess that
definitely
makes
car
sense.
mayhem. It's all that stuff. I think what really sold the show was actually Anthony Mackie and what's her name? Oh my gosh, she was on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. She was in one of the voices of Encanto. Oh
Oh,
man,
what's her name?
it's
Yeah, I know what you're
Louisa,
talking about.
Lisa something. Anyway, their chemistry carried that show, and something that could have been really like over the top campy. They actually really carried the show, and I didn't think I would like it. I didn't think I would like it, and I actually enjoyed it quite a bit. And I was kind of like, okay, it got me back into the lore of Twisted Metal, and you know, if they get a season 2, I think it'll be interesting to see where they take the show. So
Yeah, they shouldn't do it. They probably will.
it probably will. It's money, man. So
'Cause
recommend
it's gonna
Twisted
turn into
Metal.
Death Race. It's gonna turn into Death Race.
I
That's
mean,
what that is.
but that's kind of what Twisted Metal is, kind of, in a way.
Yeah,
It's kind of, you know.
they get away with it because it's a game, not a freaking.
So yeah, so highly. I mean, I do actually recommend Twisted Metal for those who haven't seen it. I think it's a worth a watch. It's worth a watch if you're into like. It's very silly. It's very campy. It's action, but more slapstick action. I think it was actually it was enjoyable. It was enjoyable. What else? Ahsoka. Ahsoka came out while we were on strike.
Yeah,
Eh,
I was like, like. So I get the allure because it's like, yeah, there's not any movies, and she was popular in the Clone Wars
mhm.
and this and that, but that show fell flat big time, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Could have
you're
done
pretty
so
into the
much
Star Wars.
more, and they did a great freaking performance by the Punisher dude. Oh man,
Mm.
he just
Ray
had
Stevenson?
to die and fucking ruin it.
God damn that guy for dying and ruining it. Yeah.
No, that character is a badass character that they could have.
Yeah.
I feel like that would have been better than
Okay,
Ahsoka's
So
character.
here's my problem with the Ahsoka series and how it's been run. When a show like that leaves me where like the questions or the unanswered things are more interesting than what happened. Like I don't feel like anything happened. Right?
No,
We were like, okay, we got
we're
this
just
thing.
watching her like drive around and not do anything. It would be
Yeah,
like
you're
if
like-
we drove
you're like,
Uber and
oh
we just had
no,
like
this
Patreon-
guy's coming.
Patreon access to us driving Uber, basically.
But like, this is if you boil it down, right? You make a what's the thing when you take a wine, a reduction, right? If you make a reduction of
Yeah.
Ahsoka, it's oh no, he's coming. Let's stop him from coming. Oh no, we didn't stop him from coming. Now
He
he's
came all
coming.
over
And that's the end of the
place.
show.
There's cum everywhere. Yeah.
There's come everywhere. Like that's the show.
They introduced a bunch of characters that
Yeah.
people loved in different, like Thrawn was big in the books. They had a whole series on it, which it was okay. It's kind of boring.
Yeah.
But and then they had the girl, the Mandalorian lady, I can't remember her name. That's from one of
Yeah.
the newer cartoons. And
Yeah,
then
Hera or whatever.
it's like you just introduced a bunch of, and they introduced the Sinister Sisters. I can't remember. I call them the
Night Sisters.
Night Sisters.
Night Sisters. The Sinister Six. The Sinister Six Sisters.
It's like you introduced a bunch of popular shit from different mediums, and then that, like you said, that was it. It's like,
Yeah.
oh no, we're all here. And it's like I get you're building up to another season, but
Yeah.
like you said, nothing. You just introduced everything, and then it was just a bunch of people like driving around. There was one or two. Was there 2 battles? Of course, nobody like died or no hands got chopped off or nothing.
No hands went flying off. Here's my thing. I think the Disney formula for certain Marvel properties, for certain Star Wars properties, for certain other properties, it's worked up until a point, and now it's starting. I think people are starting to not like it, and by that I mean, when Iron Man 1 came out, it was a self-contained story that hinted at more. And then you had Captain America, which was a self-contained story, but hinted at more. And Thor. And then Avengers brought it all together. And you're like, oh, there's this bigger universe. And then we expanded that universe. But look at Guardians, self-contained story, hinted at more. And like these were good. But then you started getting things where it was like Iron Man 2, which was more of a connection, like just watch this cause what's coming next, right?
Yeah.
And then you had what's another one that was like that, like really, really like that is
Winter Soldier.
Iron Man 3. No, Winter Soldier, I feel was honestly a great standalone. I
Or
go
not,
back and watch Winter Soldier.
Civil
often.
War.
Civil
Sorry,
War
Civil War.
was one of those where it's like what should have been a really good self-contained story was more like Black Panther, Spider-Man, so much
Leading
more to
all
come.
these stupid
And
things.
it's a lot of teeing up other things. So when your movie becomes a trailer for something else that's coming out, that's a problem. Ahsoka is a great character, a complicated character, and then the universe around Ahsoka and all the people, just great source material. They've made seasons of TV shows off of it. But when this show seems like it was just teeing up something else, you're like, why did I look back and go, why did I watch that? Now,
Yeah.
there were
It's
moments.
6 episodes where you're like teeing up what's to come, like, and then you have the worst part is they have no plan of
Yeah.
what to do next.
You go, and wait till you see what comes. What comes next? You'll see.
We're gonna read all the
it's coming.
comments of you criticizing it, and we're gonna come up with
It's
some
coming.
shit.
You'll see.
It's at least like Marvel, like they had their architect,
Yeah.
which was Feige, after Favreau created the whole shit, and they're doing the same thing. He created he did it with Mandalorian, and it's like you can't do it with everything. Just
Yeah.
give us a beginning and an end.
I loved Mandalorian's season 1 because again, it felt like a self-contained story that there's just threads and loose connections to the overall. But then like you get into season 2, you get into Book of Fett, and it just feels like a lot of
Well,
fan
the fact
service.
they really effed him over big time. You gave us 3 episodes, and then you did a Mandalorian
Mini season.
You did Mandalorian 1.5.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude,
Yeah.
Boba Fett was like one of the most popular characters of all time before
Yeah.
Mandalorian.
And he had realistically,
just-
he had what? A half a movie at most of screen time? Really? Even less than that? A quarter of a
and
movie?
it was like boring and like, well, it was okay, but it's like you led him nowhere, and then you just, you made him a punk ass bitch.
He's got his feelings.
It's like he was there before freaking Mandalorian. He was a little bitch, sucking his mama's titty, and this guy was in the galaxy, fighting Jedi and shit.
Yeah.
And
So-
you punked him out.
No, I
It'd be like,
agree.
oh, like if I took over this show, like it's like no different.
I love it.
It's like, oh, Siki's been doing it. Like I come in like, hey, Mandalorian.
Yeah, I'm the Mandalorian, guys. I just you say that, I picture you in a little pop culture wear shirt with a little CQ hat on. Like, hey guys, I'm the new
Look,
CQ.
I got my little baby here.
I got a little mini me. No, it like
It's like-
there's and like again with Ahsoka, there were really good moments I felt in the show. Really, Ray Stevenson was incredible. His performance was incredible.
Blonde-haired
The
lady did really good.
the Night Sister
The
lady,
sister lady, really
Yeah,
good acting.
really good.
Thrawn, I was like,
50-50.
he kind of looked the part, but
I don't feel like he had the
I-
gravitas. I really don't.
Yeah,
I really
like,
don't.
No, Thrawn was like this. He's like this big, like,
Yeah.
people want to follow him, and he's the next big Vader. And it's like
Yeah.
this guy was just
I don't think I think because there's certain roles that are just too big for
Fell
the
flat.
actor. Is that a
Yeah,
thing?
it was
I think
way
I know
too big.
Ice is out there. He's gonna be mad. He's gonna be mad. I already know. I'm just saying. It didn't intimidate the way that I think Thrawn should intimidate on screen.
He's not like an imposing, authoritative character. He
The
was like-
presence didn't do it for me.
it's like if you were like, if it was like the best example is Spaceballs.
Yeah.
When they had Vader come out, he's got the big helmet, and it's Rick Moranis' voice.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah.
it's
And I
like
get
that's what I felt
Ice is
Thrawn
like
was.
it's the same voice of Thrawn, yes, but I'm just saying the physical embodiment, the character, it just didn't
And a fucking beer belly for crying out loud.
he was as
Dude,
intimidating
you're
to
an
me as like a mall
officer.
cop.
I know you're like a naval officer, but
Yeah.
they're still in some kind of shape.
So I loved the return of Hayden Christensen. I loved that the dynamic between him and Ahsoka. I felt like it was a great payoff, not
Big
just for
cameo,
his character,
still.
but for their legacy of the characters, and so much goes into that. But I don't know, man. I don't know.
So weird because like I don't know, what's her name is like older than he is.
Sure.
In real life.
Sure.
So it's like a 15-year
Master.
age gap. Master. And it's like
Oh man.
but and then they always introduce the little like new characters. The new series started that. I hate it. But
Yeah.
the roly
So-
polies.
The roly polies. Yeah, I mean,
that was a huge disappointment. I
I want to say,
don't know,
okay,
looking forward to season 2.
I won't say it was a huge disappointment because I feel like that's going
Huge.
far. I definitely think that it left a lot to be
It
desired.
led nowhere. Yeah, and it
Left a
led
lot to be
there was
desired.
there's nothing like, okay, where are you gonna go with it? Because
Yeah,
well, I know where they're gonna go with it. It's gonna piss everyone off. They're gonna have the freaking Mandalorian fight him.
yes. The Mandalorian will stop Thrawn.
It's gonna be the Mandalorian, Boba Fett, and Ashoka fighting Thrawn. And it's like, you guys are dumb.
We'll see. We'll see what's coming next. I don't know. What other shows
The other
that came
show,
out?
I thought the other show was good. I didn't get a lot of
the
that spinoff of from Rogue One. I
yeah.
can't even freaking-
Rebels.
That was a
no,
good show.
not Rebels. What was it called?
So long ago.
My God, yeah. No, that was a good one. That was a good one. I thought they did a really good job with that.
That was a good show, and they were supposed to do another one of that. But it's like, yeah, at least that was a story, and it's like going somewhere, a beginning and an end, and
Yeah,
left
it
it
felt
open.
self-contained while still being connected. Andor, thank you, Ice. I know Ice for
Andor,
that.
Jesus,
Andor,
yeah, that was good. Well done.
That was a really good series, and I know they're gonna do more
That guy's
of
a
it.
great actor too.
Yeah.
Um,
So it's again, it's about telling a really good self-contained story while still being connected to the larger tapestry. But it's
and there's
a
so
balance.
many of those in the Star Wars realm. They call them like legacy now.
Yeah.
Those are all the ones I've read and
Wait,
listened to the audiobooks.
you mean everyone's not connected to Luke Skywalker in some way? Because I
No.
assumed everyone had a personal connection in the galaxy to Luke Skywalker or Darth Vader. That was just
Han
an
Solo.
assumption.
It's
Or
Han
Han
Solo.
Solo. Yeah. Like everyone in the entire universe, galaxy, is connected to those three somehow, some way.
So much more potential, except for
Yes.
the new books. New books are garbage.
Other stuff that's come out recently. Gen V. Did you watch Gen V at all?
Oh, that show's my favorite. The Amazon, the freaking, the Garth
Boys.
Ennis shit is just fucking great, man.
Yes.
That's like that's what I want to see. I'd pay like $100 to watch that shit in the theater. It's got everything you ever want, and you're like, "Dude, just think of the most fucked up shit, and then times it times 10."
Yeah.
And you're watching it on TV. It's like when South Park first came out. You're like, "Dude, you just said bitch," but better. It's like if you said bitch, and then like his dick exploded, which fucking happens
In
Spoiler.
3D. So
Anytime you have like a dude fucking whales or whales exploding and dicks exploding, gratuitous dicks, I'm there.
so listen, the way comics lived for many years, right? 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and then it got to a mass saturation point within the comic industry that you started to see these kind of satire parodies, right? You got Watchmen, which was mocking that journey. You got The Boys, you got Invincible, you got a lot of these comics that were turning the tails on these kind of like, oh, you know, if superheroes are real, they'd all be assholes, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And
Well, and that's exactly how it will be, and that's what this portrays. That's why I like it, because it's like, yeah, it's like
makes,
me, just like in everything, like real life. If you walk around now,
yeah, just
it's
like Marines are real assholes.
some people are nice like you, and some people are fucking dicks like me.
Some,
It's the
some
same
people
thing.
are
If we had
Marines and they're
superpowers,
assholes.
you goddamn bet I would be fucking exploding people with my laser eyes and shit.
So my point was, in the same way that, you know, years after it kind of saturated the market, you started to see these pop up. I feel like in response, 10 plus years after the birth of the Marvel Universe and DC movies and you know, all these different superhero genres that have come up, now you're starting to see the rise of, you know,
It's like the anti
anti-superhero stuff.
movie.
Yeah.
It's like what did they use? What the Wayans brothers always did. It's like those cheesy comedies, scary movies and shit. But it's
parodies.
like,
yeah.
if they were actually good and people wanted to watch them.
Yes, exactly. So exactly. So exactly my point that I think now, not to say that people are necessarily sick and tired of superheroes, but it's a perfect time to like, okay, let's take a different look at it. And that's why things like
it's
The Boys,
niche, like, you know, even those comics, it's like a niche group of people. Like, it's like Deadpool is more mainstream, but it's still a niche type of character. Well, small for Marvel, but
right?
The independents were doing it to sell
Yeah.
comics, and it's great. And like, you know, a few 100,000 people read them, and some of us have the first copies. Because they were
You look back, I think it was
and
characters like
Amazon's
Spawn.
making those things come to life.
I think it was characters like Spawn. Like when Spawn debuted, and you were like, oh, it could be a dark, gritty, where he's a hero, but he's not necessarily a hero. He's kind of an asshole. And then you had guys like Deadpool and all these guys that became
was also
anti-heroes.
one of the first independent, like,
super successful. Yeah.
Comic book. And it's because, he's kind of like the anti-hero.
Yeah. Captain Wayne says Gen 13. That was another one. You know, Punisher obviously became a big anti-hero. Like all these characters, which were started out as villains, really. And then, you know, people were like, oh shit, they're fun and they're fun. I like them. And I also think this is also like getting kind of off topic, but this is Attitude Era WWE, you know, where
superheroes.
You know, like, I mean, like you had Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock, who were huge assholes. And like, but that became popular. D-Generation X, you know, the Triple H, these guys that were the bad guys became more popular than anybody. And they gave birth to this whole generation of like, no, you know, stick it to the man, anti-establishment, you know, anti-hero. And that, you know, I think that popped up in comics, that popped up in now movies and shows. So we're seeing it more and more.
Preacher and all that.
Yeah.
No,
but
that Gen V it's good.
I like
them a couple behind. It's still on now, isn't it?
Yeah, I think there's still a couple episodes.
But it's a good take. It's before, was it season 2?
No, it picks up kind of at the last season, and it's the prequel to the next season. So like it's between seasons 3 and 4, because season 3 already came out.
Because I thought because it has what's his name. Well, what's his name still has his speed, so that's why I thought it was earlier on. Because now he's not fast anymore, and Black Noir isn't in the new ones. They already killed him, and he's
I don't know. I remember reading that they said,
it's not the latest season. All those dudes, half of those people are dead or not relevant.
So it's probably then the previous season.
I think it's before they were doing the movie.
Yeah,
season that was
anyway,
like 3.
Point is, it's between.
It's
one
really
seasons.
good.
I like what it did. I like what it did. You know, the same way. So. The Boys obviously draws from the comic books. So for us, for those of us that have read the comic books, it's like a lot of it's like, oh, this is cool. Yeah, the comic book did it better. You know what I mean? You get a lot of that. You know, hero-gasm to say the least. Read the books if you don't get it. Same thing with Walking Dead, right? It did the same thing where it's like you can bring it true to life, but it'll never be as good as the books. And so the same way The Walking Dead released, okay, they're like, all right, you like this stuff, but you don't like that you know everything and that we're changing. So we'll just create a whole new thing. And they created Fear the Walking Dead, which was a completely new take on that universe. So that's what Gen V is. It's this completely new take on the boys universe in a way that you're like, well, if you don't want to know everything that's already happened and what's going to happen and why it happens, here's your original take, which I think they've deviated quite a bit from the boys' source material.
Oh yeah,
Quite a bit.
and it's but they did a good job. Unlike
Yeah.
Fear of the Walking Dead and that
Yeah.
stuff, people want to watch it.
First of all, you can't say they did a
it.
bad job. They're still on the air. I think they're still on their final season, so it's lasted.
It was like
Can't
too
be
boring
bad
to
if
me.
it
I
lasted.
didn't finish season 1. It was too slow and boring. But
Yes, all those things too boring.
I don't know.
So,
But
okay.
this is like, it's good. They took like what I feel like what the original show and the comic book did best, and they expanded upon it, which is rare for a spinoff. Usually spinoff, you're like, man, this
Yeah.
isn't as good. Like,
It jumps the
I
shark.
want to watch it because I like the show, and then you watch it and you're like,
It's
this
not
isn't
the
that
things
good.
that I like about the show.
It's like, it's like, I liked How I Met Your Mother, but then I watched How I Met Your Father, and it's like,
Oh, don't bring that up. It hurts. It hurts. Right
yeah.
here.
I know, and your buddy's Carter Bays, but sorry, buddy. Fell
He
flat.
wasn't involved in the sequel. Like he's
I
like,
could tell.
he's like, I gave them my blessing. Good Godspeed.
He's like, I give you my blessing.
Yeah, he's like,
I
he's
took it all the way to the bank.
gave you my
What do you
blessing.
think what do you think I got CQ over here to do comedy?
Cash that check. I gave him my blessing. So some other things that have come out, and a
What
couple
else
things
came out? Yeah.
more recent. Loki season
Oh,
2.
I just finished it. Oh.
Probably,
And I'm
arguably,
sad because I read today he said that ended his 14-year
14 years. 14 years of Tom
representation of the
Hiddleston.
character.
Tom Hiddleston playing the
I
character.
was hoping he would come back for more.
He said that there's never, it's never. You know, he said
Yeah,
that
'cause
there's
he likes
always
to get paid. And what else are we
Money
watching him
sucks.
in? Name
Yeah.
another Tom Hiddleston. He's a great actor.
He's a phenomenal actor. Phenomenal actor.
I don't know anything that he's in. That's
A lot of
coming
British
out.
stuff. A lot of British stuff. But
Downton.
I think probably, arguably, the season of Loki, season 2, ups and downs,
Yeah.
but the
First couple
finale,
episodes, I was like the first one, I was on my phone, like scrolling. Second one, I kind of did it, and then it kind of picks up from there. Finale was the best one by far. I think the last 2 episodes were the best.
I can't remember a finale that perfectly closed off a series, a season, an episode better than what they did with Loki. I mean, I put it up there with some of the best series finale, seasons finale, Breaking Bad, Dexter when it was good, and shows like that just crushed a season finale. And to also bookend, like you said, that 14 years of playing this character to really come full circle
Who we
and pay
thought
it off.
was dead at the end of Avengers.
And
got choked out.
Got choked out. But then we knew he was
So
back
it's
in
good.
Endgame. We saw him again. But
Yeah.
it definitely.
And, what's his name? What's the guy that plays the
Obi?
Jesus Christ, Kang?
Oh,
That
Jonathan
guy.
Majors.
What
yeah.
a phenomenal actor. Dude, Timely?
Yeah,
What?
Victor Timely.
Huge
and the
deviation. I'm like, this guy has so
He
much
Who
range.
Remains, like the different, like right, he's only really played 3 different versions yet. We saw in End of Quantumanium a bunch of other versions, but realistically, we've only seen him play 3 versions that are fully fleshed out, and that's He Who Remains, Victor Timely, and Kang the Conqueror in Ant-Man, which I will now call a variant crap, like crap Krang, because he got beat up by ants, and that is not Kang the Conqueror.
Sad. That's not what we
He's the
wanted to
very
see.
wuss variant of Kang. But anyway, I hope, because there's been a lot of talk, a lot of speculation because of the stuff that he's gone through in his personal life, that maybe Marvel's looking to recast him, that maybe Marvel's looking to eliminate Kang off the board completely and replace it with like somebody like Doom, Doctor Doom, or somebody like that. I hope First of all, I hope justice is done, right? And whether he's in the right or in the wrong, I hope that comes to light, and I hope that, you know what I mean, that's resolved the way it should be, properly. But if he is proven innocent and everything is, I hope that they do get to continue on, because I feel like his portrayals are building to something really just, astronomically amazing. So we'll see. We'll see how that plays out.
That's
I don't
good.
know.
Good show though.
Yeah,
It's a lot of good shows though.
a lot of good
But
shows.
I don't. There's not been a lot of movies. The
Not
cartoon
much.
ones.
Not
I know you
much.
saw the Marvels. We could probably talk about that after break.
Yeah.
There's I know you don't watch it.
Paw
but
Patrol.
there's
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
Yeah. And then you watch the new ones on
Yeah.
Paramount Plus.
Yeah,
That's what I
man.
was gonna go into.
Yeah.
No, I was
My
gonna
kid
talk
went
about
to see the
Star
movie.
Trek.
My kid went to see the
Brave.
movie. He liked it.
Did you really?
Paw
Yeah, I
Patrol the
saw it on
movie.
Paramount.
Yeah, it was good.
Oh, didn't they get canceled?
Did they get canceled? Like
Yeah, I
the
thought
one,
they
the,
got
the
canceled
one was
because they
is
had the police
racist.
dog and you couldn't be a police.
The one dog was a racist, so he got canceled. Oh
But they
man,
had Star Trek, I think it's Brave New Worlds, where it follows dang it, can't remember the guy's name.
I know they did the
It was like
Picard show.
a
They did
Captain
that one.
Kirk's dad, the guy that like was in
Right.
charge of Captain Kirk's dad. I
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
remember
yeah.
his name right now. That show's pretty good.
Yeah.
The only thing I didn't like was like they try to make it the younger guy look like the guy that portrayed him in the movie. So he's like looks like me, but he's got gray hair. It's like it doesn't work. We're too handsome. We're too young and handsome.
Young and handsome.
Can't have frosted tips right now.
Scott says, Legend of Zelda live action out yet? No, they're talking about it actually. Funny enough, I just read a report on that. That they're working they're working to flesh that out to bring a live action Legend of Zelda to theaters. And Ice wants to know if the Army will bring back Jonathan Majors, because I don't know, for those that don't remember, because it was a hot minute. It was a hot minute where Jonathan Majors was like the voice of the U.S. Army, and like he had the commercial and he's walking all badass, battlefields explode. They must have spent like $1 million, $2 million on that ad.
Yeah, they're
And then, like,
striving so hard to get people.
4 days after it drops, that's not the only war he was fighting. He was fighting on dual fronts, and then he got into his legal trouble, and that ad got pulled so fast, so
Yeah,
fast.
they would. They'll definitely bring them back. They're like 200,000 under their recruiting goals. They
Yeah.
do everything. I mean, not
Yeah.
everyone could fight dragons.
With swords, with
With the
swords, no
sword.
less.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
kind of a big deal.
Fair enough. All right, let's take a short
take a
break.
break at a break.
When we come back, we'll talk a little bit about Marvels, and then I got some headlines for y'all's, and I'll do a re-announcement of the huge giveaway that's coming later this year, or as in next month. So if you didn't hear about the huge,
No, it's next
awesome,
year.
amazing,
It's January.
well, it
Giveaway's
starts next
January,
month.
so you could say next year.
It starts next month and goes into next year. But anyway, I'll talk about that real quick and we get back from the break. And yeah, we'll have more show right after this. We'll see you guys at the break. Shots.
You're listening to the sounds of WTF Nation Radio.
Hey, you there? Yeah, it is right, you. Let me ask you something, right? Where the hell do you think that you're going? Oh, would you think because the show is going to commercial that means you get to just walk away? Well, CQ asked me to pass on the little message, alright? And it says, I'll be back.
After all I've done, do you love me now? Do you love me now? After all I've said, running through 'Cause with all the lies I keep, made you believe this was me. The truth is I am not at all who I preach myself to be. And I deserve to be alone. And I'm alone here with me. And after all I've done, do you love me now? Do you love me now? After all I've said, running through your head, do you love me now? Do you love me now? And if I told you everything, I wonder if you would believe that with all the ways you've tried, I couldn't change my selfish needs. And with endless love from you, I took for granted everything. And I deserve to be alone here with me. After all I've done, do you love me now? Do you love me now? After all I've said, running through your head, do you love me now? Do you love me now? And I believe I could close my eyes and make it go away in dreams. And honestly, I could die to take it all away from me. After all I've done, do you love me now? Do you love me now? And after all I've said, running through your head, do you love me now? Do you love me now? After all I've done, do you love me now? After all I've said, running through your head, do you love me
You're watching Pop Culture Warrior. The force is strong. They have the high ground.
Broadcasting live from the basement of the Pentagon. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Hey, everybody, we're back. Let's bring back Mad Mike. Woo woo. There he is. We were talking about stuff that came out during the striking season. I think we did a pretty good job of kind of covering, doing a quick fast forward of all the things that have been out. I did want to mention.
You skipped over Barbie.
Well, of course, Barbie. God bless Barbie. I didn't see it. Not because I'm against it in any way. I just didn't get around to seeing it. Like I would have.
I think kids saw it.
I would have went to see Barbie. I heard it was good. I heard it was actually
And
really
they liked
good.
it. They're like, yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I heard very positive things about it. Also didn't see Oppenheimer. That's a big one.
Didn't see that either.
Didn't see it.
People were mixed.
I love me some Chris Nolan. Dude,
Yeah,
makes
but
amazing movies.
we know what to expect. It's like gonna be long and slow and
Very dramatic.
care about all the, what they teach you in
Cinematography.
film school. He gets an A+ in film school, ladies and gentlemen. Is it boring to the
somebody
rest of
was
us? You're
valedictorian of their
right, it
film
is.
school.
I filmed it on 40 millimeter. Like nobody
Yeah.
fucking. We're in America, bro. What is that? 2.5
What is that in inches and feet?
2 inches. Congratulations, bro.
What's that in feet? Point 0.020 feet.
0.024 feet.
Point
I didn't,
zero
I didn't
zero.
watch it either, but I was more interested in seeing that. But
Yeah,
it's a movie about a scientist.
yeah.
I hate to break. Fun fact: they're fucking boring.
I heard that
Okay.
he
Their
like shot
big
an
thing in life
actual.
is, oh my god, I got a date.
I heard he shot like an actual explosion in like super slow mo, whatever.
He literally filmed a nuke. No.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Like not necessarily a nuke, but like a small giant
And
explosion.
he did an M80.
Super close. Super
And
close
a
up.
2.5-inch camera. Or whatever.
Oh god.
Who's not coming on the show? Christopher Nolan.
Yeah. Add it to the board. Christopher Nolan, not coming on the show. Hey, Keith says Barbie was fun. Good for you, Keith, man. I appreciate that. So real
Sad
quick,
that a grown man
just-
hasn't seen it.
wait, what? Who's just to recap on what the big announcement was for anybody that missed it earlier in the show. We're going to do the biggest giveaway that has ever been done in the history of the show and probably on this station, right? The show's only 4 years old. The station goes back quite a ways before that, but probably what it'll be go down in history is the biggest giveaway we've ever done, possibly ever will do. Your entry will get you into a chance to win a lovely prize pack filled with like awesome stuff. And the pinnacle, the top of the mountain of that prize pool will be you will get an Avengers theatrical poster. Big theatrical poster signed by Iron Man himself, Robert Downey Jr. It is a gorgeous piece, something that you can display proudly. It is one of a kind. It is amazing. I mean, you're just not gonna find a lot of Avengers posters signed by Robert Downey Jr. He's just not. He's not one for really autographs. So that will be the big ticket item, and then it'll be a bunch of other stuff will be included as well. But to enter into the Pop Culture Warrior, I don't even know what we're gonna call it, to be honest, because it's kind of a holiday thing. It's kind of my birthday thing. It's kind of the show's birthday thing. It's kind of like it's been a while since I've done a really big giveaway kind of thing. So we'll come up with a name for it. But to enter to win this incredible prize, it's gonna be for Patreon subscribers only. So patreon.com/popculturewarrior. Enter any of the tiers. Obviously, Tier 1 gets you 1 entry, Tier 2 gets you 2 entries, Tier 3 gets you 3 entries. So if you're a member of the Patreon from at the minimum December to January, then you'll be entered in for a chance to win. And on January 30th, I said 30th, January 30th, 30th, right here live on the show, we're going to take all those entries and somebody's going to win live here on the show. So
if they see you on the streets, can they slip you a 10 spot and get an entry? Or
they can absolutely and slip me a 10, but it won't do anything to do that.
Dang it.
Scott's like, you mean there aren't signed RDJ posters just lying around collecting dust? I mean, yes, but in people's collections. Probably not out there. They're definitely hard to find. In fact, here, just out of curiosity, out of just morbid curiosity, let's do a quick
Google
search.
that thing.
Let's do a quick search. Robert. Nope, stop that. Don't do that. Robert Downey Jr. signed Avengers poster. Let's see what. Holy Chicago.
So we'll be giving away Jason David Frank signed poster.
The cheapest one I'm seeing is $1,500. Is the cheapest one. I mean, that's not true. I see one for like $180, but you know that's fake.
That's from like, yeah.
You know,
that on Alibaba?
It's coming from the Ukraine.
Not gonna get. Oh, yep. Mother Russia. Not today.
Not today. But most of the real ones are minimum $1,500.
Trying to buy more ammo. Like here, buy this. If you buy this poster, it gets us 1,000 rounds.
I'm seeing 1,600, 1,700, 5,000. Yeah, that's ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. So anyway,
you get an entry for I don't know the tiers. You should probably tell people the tiers. I think it's like $10 to $25, something like that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think the lowest entry into the Patreon is like $5. It's not much.
There you go, $5. 2 months, $10, and you get a chance to win at least $1,500 poster.
Yeah, at a minimum. I mean,
can sell it on eBay.
And if you don't like, I was gonna say, if you don't like it, you can turn around and sell it for $1,500 easily. So, absolutely.
Same 3 people are gonna win anyway. Only 3 people win shit on this show.
I like that. He said the one is for $180. It's signed by Roberto Bounty Jr.
Yeah, no, they're like
for $180. That's good.
Eastern European or whatever. So it'd be like, I don't know.
Yeah, whatever the Russian version of Robert.
Yeah,
Rustev Jr. So anyway, so there you go. Obviously, very valuable prize. I've wanted to, I've had it for a couple years now, and I just wanted to save it for a really good occasion. So I feel like this is a good occasion. So we're gonna do that. Moving along, Marvels. The Marvels came out this past weekend. I won't spoil it for anybody. You know my rule. I give it a week before I'll spoil anything. Overall, not a bad film. Not a bad film. Actually quite enjoyable. Definitely not the peak of Marvel, but very far from the bottom of it as well. In fact, I'd put it ahead of movies like Thor, Love and Thunder, Ant-Man, Quantumania. I think it was a better movie than those. It's not a perfect movie, and it's a rather short movie, coming in at like an hour and 42 minutes or something like that. It's one of the shorter. I think it's the shortest Marvel movie ever made, like shorter than Iron Man 1. But there are
so
some
didn't
really
do long pauses, staring into each other's eyes.
No, like they do get through the movie. Like it really doesn't
transfer powers.
It doesn't breathe. And by that I mean like it really does go from like thing to thing to thing to thing to thing to thing to thing, and then you're like, you're done and you're out. And even I'll give you the only, it's not a spoiler, but the only heads up is there's one post-credit scene and it's like so it's like end of movie, a couple of what do you call it?
Director
Credits. Yeah, like
Brie
the director,
Larson,
and then it goes right into
Samuel
the
Jackson, and they get right in the meat.
post credit scene, and then you're done. You do not have to stay after that.
Wow, good.
So
That's what
yeah,
they should always do. Like, come on, or just fucking add that shit into the end of the movie.
and
I don't want to see like the 10th grip that only did it in London. Like, I don't fucking.
I don't need to
care.
read
And why
thank
do you
you
have
to
so
the
many
city of
people?
Montreal for helping.
Yeah, it's like Jesus Christ, you have 20,000 people for one movie. Like, fuck.
It really do. I mean, they really do. I mean, it does take a village. But I think, kind of to your point, I think that's what they did. Because all I'll say is, there is the end of the movie, and then no break. It just kind of like the next scene feels like they took a post-credit scene and put it right there.
Yeah.
Because it's a different scene, and it takes place after the movie, and it definitely sets things up for later. But I was just kind of thankful that they like just rolled right into it. Then a couple of credits, right? Get your big names. And then boom, post-credit scene that really teases the future and other directions. And then yeah, it's a good time. It's a good time. I really
Well, I'm
enjoyed
glad
it.
they learned, because it's like really annoying that you make me wait all the way to the end to watch, a dog and a space helmet or some stupid shit.
An ant playing the drums. That was a great one.
Yeah.
That
Like,
was
oh, thanks. I'm glad I wasted 15 minutes learning everyone that did anything.
yeah.
This
It-
guy brought me coffee 4 times. He
There
got
was a
credit.
time when the post-credit scene was something you wanted to sit and get, like
Yeah,
you
but
wanted
it's
to see.
still not worth watching all those credits.
I don't know. I
Just
feel
put
like
it at the end of
there
the
was a
movie
time.
or at the beginning. Like, it's not worth staying. It's a stupid gimmick, and you're assholes for
Yeah.
starting it.
My biggest hate, my biggest gripe with the post-credit scene is when that was more interesting than the movie.
Yeah.
That's a problem. So like, Ant playing the drums while like, ugh, I can't believe I sat there and watched and waited for that. At least it wasn't like, because there's some post-credit scenes where you're like, oh shit. Like that
Oh, I
was
had to
more
see that.
exciting and more memorable than anything that happened in the movie preceding it. So, that always gets me.
It should have a purpose and not be, like you said, an ant playing fucking drum or
Yeah.
the stupid dog and whatever. It's like you did set up the Avengers with it, and then you just fell off with all the other bullshit and just screwed us over because you're a bunch
Yeah.
of assholes.
Again, not to play yin to your yang. I do feel like there was some really, really good stuff out there. This one particular, because I don't want to spoil it for you. They really do justice in the sense of it ties into the narrative of this movie while also going like, hey, this is where we're going. Does that make sense? I don't mean to be vague, but it really does kind of wrap up the stories of the characters here while teasing where they're kind of going to go into the future, which I think is the perfect kind of end credit. It doesn't overshadow the movie, but it does leave us excited and wanting more. So that's quite enjoyable. I
If
do
you're gonna
like that.
do it and be a dick, then that's the way it should be. But you could just make a
And you
quality
don't
film
have to
and
wait
lead into
long
the next
for it.
film.
You don't have to wait long for it. That's good. That's the good part. So
Yeah,
that's the
no,
Marvels.
That's good. It's good. So did it? So did Shield or whatever tie into it, and then
Saber.
Marvels and all that? The shows, did they actually tie into the movie, or were they completely different?
How do you
So
mean?
they did the Nick Fury show.
Oh, you mean
whatever
Secret
it was
Invasion?
called.
That's the one we didn't talk
Secret
about. Secret
Invasion.
Invasion. Yeah.
So that was supposedly he came down from working on the space station
Yes.
where, whatever that lady's name is and him were at.
Yep.
And then we had the Miss Marvel show, which was could have passed.
I hate to say it. First of all, the Miss Marvel show I enjoyed. I actually enjoyed the Miss Marvel
Of course,
show
you enjoyed
quite a
it
bit.
because you like everything Marvel produces.
Nope, I didn't. I didn't enjoy Secret Invasion. I didn't really.
Well,
I
it's also
really
boring and led into nothing.
I
It was
had
great material
really
that they let
high
flop.
hopes. Yeah, Secret Invasion was one of my favorite storylines. Like, there's so much intrigue. There's so much mystery. So much, who can I trust? And
It would have made a great like 3-movie deal, or even you could have did a good show with B.
I feel like
You could even added some, like Anthony Mackie's and made it a great series, but they just fucked
I
it
feel
all
like
up.
in regards to Secret Invasion, that should have been an Avenger movie
Yeah.
that the whole phase led into. Right?
Yeah.
Where each
Civil
movie
War.
has its own self-contained story, right? And then like at the end, in that post-credit scene, you see like the bad guy or even the good guy that had been kind of pulling the strings is revealed to be a Skrull. But you see that
Yeah.
privately. And then you see that in every movie. And now as the movies go on, right, they're telling their self-contained story, but you're always thinking, you have the tagline in the back of your mind, who can I trust? Who can you trust? You know what I mean? And you're always wondering, like, who's pulling the strings? And did you do that for an entire phase and build to the Avengers Secret Invasion storyline? Oh man, that would have
You could
been
even like
fucking huge.
even better. You do that. They did the whatever the end game and all that, and do like the new Avengers, and they're the ones who have to stop the Skrulls or something. Could have been good. So much
Yeah.
potential, and they floundered it.
Yeah.
And it fell flat. It was stupid. Like, okay, I injected myself. Well, everyone should have seen it by now, but we injected ourselves with all the DNA, and now I have all these stupid powers. And it's like, get
Yeah.
out of here, dude.
Yeah. And I'll tell you right now, has no bearing in the Marvels whatsoever. There is no payout.
It's
There's
just
no
the space station he shot down from is the only
literally
reference,
the only
basically.
thing that connects those two movies is that space elevator.
Jesus.
That is literally the only thing that connects those two movies.
So he left his wife up to work up there, and there's no.
She
other
went with him at the
reference.
end. Remember, she went with him at the end, but you don't see her in the movie. She's not there.
Yeah, 'cause
You
she's
know,
doing the dishes.
it realistically, I almost, because we're going into that whole multiversal shenanigans,
Yes.
it feels like two different versions of Nick Fury. Absolutely. The one we see in Secret Invasion is not the guy we see in the Marvels. They're two different people.
Good, because that version sucked, and that was
Yeah.
the other thing. It's like he's like just this tired old dude, and it's like, what are you guys doing, man?
Yeah. He's classic Nick Fury, Sam Jackson Nick Fury in the Marvels. He's enjoyable to watch. The same Nick Fury you got in like Spider-Man Far From Home. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like it's classic Nick Fury. Enjoy one-liners, quips, kicks ass in like one scene he does a little kicking ass shit, but like Secret Invasion, I don't know what they were doing. I don't know if they tried to use AI to write a season of Marvel
Right.
television, because it just didn't
It was terrible. I forgot it happened until you mentioned
it is
This is what show like the kids are like, let's watch Secret Invasion. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess there's nothing else on.
So
But,
there was that.
So it's
But
good.
again,
Well,
it's
and I liked
good.
I like the lady, Miss Marvel.
Yeah.
She did good, but I didn't need to watch whatever it was, 7 episodes of it. You could have just introduced her in this, and I've been like, oh, that's cool.
There's Miss
I
Marvel.
remember when they did that in the comics, because they only did it because it was during the phase where they're like, we need women and we need
Inclusion.
ethnic,
Yes.
diversity.
Sure.
That's why Captain Marvel is a woman now. And it works better, I think, because Captain Marvel, the guy was kind of a douchebag, but
Yeah. Hey, well, you're going way back though. Captain Marvel as
Yeah.
a guy is going like late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, early 90s. This is when
Yeah.
we freaking grew up, man.
I know. I'm just saying. I'm saying
It
he
only
hasn't been
became
a
a woman
dude
in
for
like
a while.
2005 when we were getting shot up and blown
I'm
up.
just
in other
saying he hasn't been
countries.
Captain Marvel hasn't been a dude for a while. Is all I'm saying. And
Uh,
and Nick Fury hadn't been white for a while either.
yeah. Since Avengers 1. No.
No.
So you liked it? It was good.
Yeah, honestly, like it's disappointing because like I predicted it, where I was like, it's gonna have an absolutely terrible opening, and it is right now projected to be the worst Marvel opening in Marvel history, which is unfortunate because based on the
But you say
quality
worst
of
opening,
movie,
but it's like, what is that? $7 billion as opposed to 20?
yeah, I mean,
Still a buttload of money, isn't it?
oh,
I
it's
don't know.
I
What
mean,
did they spend on making it versus what did
oh my god, if we're gonna talk budget,
this one came out on like Veterans Day weekend? I don't know. There's nothing else out, so how did it not make a bunch of money?
well, it
'Cause they couldn't
definitely won the
advertise
box
it?
off. So right now it's grossing just about 47 million domestically, and the budget was 200 million. So I think it's tracking 110 million worldwide. So in its first week,
You made
it's
a quarter
made
of your budget,
half the budget,
basically.
actually a little
Yeah.
more than half, because I think
You
they
said
said 110.
47 to 200. That's a quarter.
Well, I meant worldwide was 110. Domestically was 47.
I mean, 110 world. Yeah, you got half your money. Shut up.
Yeah. Well, it's,
Jesus.
if they stop there, that's still they lost $100 million.
They're still gonna make a bunch of money because they're gonna try to get people to stream it. It's gonna be
Yeah.
on. You can buy it to rent for $29.99.
Yeah. Well, yeah. There's that, and obviously all the marketing and the toys and all the stuff, and
Yeah,
there's all that stuff makes up for it a lot too. But
that's a lot of money.
yeah. So that's the
Scorsese's over
Marvels.
there complaining like, "Oh, my movie only made $5 million."
I think Five Nights at Freddy's came out the week before and had like a super smashing, like amazing first week in the box office, but it was
It's a horror
Halloween
movie.
weekend.
They always, yeah, October horror movies always do good. Plus, it was free on Paramount Plus, which is where I watched it.
Yeah.
You can
And
get
I
that
mean,
for the low price.
it has
I don't know. I
it
don't know how
has
much it costs.
it has a built-in audience, right? Five Nights at Freddy's one of the most popular game franchises.
It was like a video game, right? I never heard
yes.
of it. Like I know one of my nephews liked it for a while, and like, oh, I bought him some shit for Christmas, and I was like, what the fuck is this? This teddy bear has a machete. This is awesome.
Why is the teddy bear has razor sharp teeth and blood dripping out its
I was
mouth?
like, cool. I don't get it, but I'll buy that.
I'm down. I'm down. I'm
When the
cool.
movie came out, I was like, this is fucking great. It's Chuck E. Cheese, but if they were fucking badass killers.
It's Chuck E. Cheese meets Chucky.
Yeah.
Chuck E.
And that
Cheese.
the poor guy survived the Hunger Games. He
Only to be
shot
taken
a
out.
security guard with fucking killer teddy bears.
Doesn't look like he aged a day either, too, man. Like,
No, he looks the same.
looks
Or,
the same.
what's
They
his
freeze
face?
him
He
between
aged a lot more
movies.
than him.
Yeah.
Well, not having money does that too, I guess.
It's
Can't
like the
afford
Winter
drugs.
Soldier. They just freeze him between movies.
I liked it. I watched that. It wasn't bad. I don't
Yeah.
know, but I don't know the source. I guess the source materials not much to go off of.
Yeah. Well, it's there's don't tell that Friday Night at Freddy's.
I heard the fans
fans.
said they hated it or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, because there is a lore to it that people are very passionate about, especially those fans are very passionate about. So it does not stick to the lore that they know of. But again, anytime you make a movie based on a comic or a video game or a playing card or an action figure, there's gonna be some creative licenses taken. And
Like everything, yeah. So what did they complain about? Like, oh, he didn't molest enough kids before he killed them. That's the whole thing. The guy was kidnapping kids and killing them.
right. Well, it had to do with a lot, like, because I know at one point, they're like they befriend the animatronics, and like at no point should they ever be friendly. Like that's the whole get of the game, is these things are constantly trying to find you and kill you. So the fact that they're
yeah,
just
it's a game. It's like,
confused little children.
if you could hit Y to befriend them, it's like game over. Come on.
Oh man, that's funny. It
When
was.
they can make a Call of Duty movie and you can't pick any skins.
Yeah, right. You can't be Snoop Dogg or Nicki
Dude, stick
Minaj.
to the original. I can't be Little Kim.
Yeah. So a bit of news that came out recently that again I didn't want to talk about because of the strike and respecting the boundaries of it, but news came out that because remember the writer's strike ended a couple weeks ago before the actor strike ended. When the writer's strike ended,
3 months ago.
it was like a month and a half. But when the writer's strike ended and everybody said, okay, we're going back to work to write, it came out that Daredevil, which is the show that's being reborn, and it's literally Daredevil Reborn, they're rebranding it and, retouching it, whatever. They fired all the writers and directors that were attached. And remember, like Marvel made a big deal about Daredevil coming back. They made a big deal about, look, we're doing things different.
It's gonna be new,
this is gonna
big,
be new.
better.
The big thing is like no more of these like 8-episode miniseries. Like this was gonna be a 22-episode season. Like they wanted to do a production. They wanted to do a TV show, not just a limited series.
Yeah, a TV show's 12 episodes, ladies and gentlemen. This 6 bullshit episodes. Stop following HBO and their stupid Game of Thrones nonsense. At least 12 is a season, you assholes. Anyways, proceed.
Yes. So needless to say that the news came out that all of these like writers and directors have been fired.
Yeah, Kevin Feige's like read it or saw it, and he's like, "This is trash. Get out of here."
Well, here's what came out.
That's basically it's crazy because it's like, yeah, you guys wrote this whole thing and it went through all this stuff, and then they're like, no. I
Yeah.
mean, good on them, and they didn't just put it out like DC. We would have got Blue Beetle, Aquaman 2 coming at you.
If DC had, they'd have been like,
The
"Are you
Flash.
serious? We need to rush this in production. We need to get this in front of the fans right away."
This is the worst shit I've ever. Let's get this shit out.
Gotta get this shit out there.
That's how they go.
So listen to this. The upcoming Daredevil Born Again series for Disney Plus is undergoing major behind the scenes changes, according to a Hollywood Reporter. Marvel Studios fired Chris Ord and Matt Corman, the head writers of Daredevil Born Again. The writers being let go reportedly took place back in September, and the directors of the Disney Plus show original series were also let go, as well as part of what Marvel's calling a creative reboot of the show. The outlet states Marvel is looking for new writers and directors. I'm available. With Daredevil set to star Charlie Cox reprising his role as the Devil of Hell's Kitchen, alongside Vincent D'Onofrio, reprising his role as Wilson Fisk / Kingpin. Production of Daredevil Born Again, it was paused in June due to the writer's strike, which looks like we were finally done with on both sides. The search for writers and directors isn't the only change coming for the Daredevil reboot. Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige has reportedly decided to take a different approach to the series, which allegedly was supposed to be a legal procedural show that was different from the predecessor of the Netflix show. Marvel, after greenlighting the concept, found itself needing to rethink the original intention of the show. So
that makes sense.
Interesting.
So they were gonna do She-Hulk.
Well, not even She-Hulk.
With Daredevil.
No, they were gonna do. Dude, they were gonna do fucking
Law and Order.
Law and Order.
He's like in the
Dude, Daredevil Law. They should have just called it Daredevil Law and Order.
Done. And he's like beating fucking people's asses in the. Like he loses a court case. He's like, "You're guilty. Where are the drugs?" Fucking flings his stick with a rope on it at him and shit.
Exactly. Yes, what Scott says. Law and Order, Hell's Kitchen, SVU. Like, he's fucking. That's literally what it is. Dun dun. I want it. Bong bong, and then it says Hell's Kitchen, 8:07 p.m.
Yeah,
Bong bong.
He's like running the courtroom. Oh, that would have been great. That's fucking great. I would watch that.
He comes into court and he's like, "Your Honor, I object." And they're like, What?
Like, why are you wearing red tights?
He's like, oh no, I'm blind. I put on the wrong
I
clothes.
found out.
Wrong clothes again.
You gotta get the guy that does the Batman, the spoofs or
Yeah.
whatever to do it too. Oh, that'd be great.
You know, that's just Pete Holmes. That's comedian Pete Holmes that does that.
yeah,
It's so
Pete
funny.
Holmes. He's like,
Um,
where are the drugs? I mean,
where's
the
objection?
kingpin?
Objection. So yes, I find it I find it interesting that like initially they greenlit this and they're like, we have a great idea. Let's forget these limited series, big budget, set piece. Let's go 22 episodes of Matt Murdock
Law and
sitting in
Order.
court.
That's what it was, dude.
It's
They
just
created Law and Order. They're
sitting
like,
in court.
fuck, there's so many copyright infringements on this. You have the same theme song. You just use different instruments. You did it with preschool shit like Jimmy Fallon.
It's just Night Court Daredevil edition. Oh God, he befriends the bailiff.
the same actors in it.
It's just a crossover. Didn't they reboot or not reboot? They sequelized Night Court, right? Didn't they did like a
Yeah,
sequel?
It's out again. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just now that they just do that, but Matt Murdock's the lawyer.
It
That's
had the bald guy, but he died. But the
Yeah.
other guy's in it. And,
Yeah.
they from what's the show with the nerds? She's in it.
yeah, the show with the nerds. Yeah, that's all of them.
Jim Parsons or
Yeah.
whatever that show. It was big.
So
did this
so
thing.
yeah, like it's fascinating to me that like I don't know, is there a place for that, right? Because like
I
historically
think that would've
speaking,
been better than like She-Hulk, but also I want to see Daredevil beat some ass.
yeah.
So
So
I felt like the Netflix version was the best version of
agreed.
Daredevil.
Well, that's the
we've
best version of
seen.
yes, that's the best version of purely Daredevil. But again, a large portion of his life is in the courtroom, right? That the
A
same way
lawyer,
we,
he's a lawyer.
Peter Parker is a photographer traditionally. It would have been interesting. Imagine watching an episode of Law and Order or Night Court, whatever, and then they lose the case and they're like, oh, and then that night that lawyer goes in and beats the living shit out of the guy.
That's
Justice
what we
will
wanna
be
see.
served.
That's
Beats the
exactly. It's like that's fucking Batman, basically. The dude fucking walks around and he's like, "Oh, you got acquitted," and he beats the fuck out of him.
Yeah. So I think that could have
That's,
been interesting.
Street justice.
Street justice.
Daredevil,
Justice
street
will be
justice.
served.
And then you got the Punisher, who's like, "You can't fuck people up. I only do that." And he shoots
Oh.
people.
Is it only me that sees the irony in like, justice is blind and so am I? Bruh. No, it's too much.
It's comics. It's written.
Keith says that's the same as Dexter. Yeah, kind of Dexter, right? If they get away with it, then he's got a,
If he
he's got a
only-
trophy.
If Dexter was Batman,
Yeah, Dexter was
that's what it
Daredevil.
is.
Yeah, so I don't know.
No.
I'm curious
It's
to
good
see.
they did it, but it's like, yeah, like all those guys are gonna go work for DC now, probably.
Have you seen the Echo trailer? Have you seen the Echo trailer?
I did, and it looks like the best
Right?
Marvel series I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. I mean, so give me that. Add sprinkle in some courtroom
That's
drama.
how like thing that pisses me off is that's how Hawkeye should have been. Like the
Right.
guy's an Avenger, and you make him gay and campy as shit. He's like, you don't get on the Avengers like some special ops team
Yeah.
being a fucking tool bag. It's like he should be a badass that can do shit like this. And it's like this lady has one leg and
Yeah.
she's like deaf and she's beating people's ass.
Yeah.
And she works for the Kingpin, which is I imagine would lead into the show, but now it's
Yeah.
not going to.
Well,
I'm sure that's someone that
bit of it.
Daredevil beats their ass afterwards. Like he loses the case. Like, I couldn't prosecute her. There's not enough evidence because she couldn't talk on the stand. He
I
goes
couldn't,
and kicks
I couldn't
ass
read her heart.
afterwards.
I couldn't read her heartbeat because she couldn't hear any of the questions. So I couldn't tell if she's innocent or not.
So I just beat the shit out of her in the alley afterwards. This has ruined the whole show.
Oh God.
But no, it looks really freaking good. I'm excited to see it. And
Yeah.
it's
All right.
about time.
Speaking of trailers that just came out, Have you seen the new Garfield movie trailer?
Jesus Christ. No.
Yes. Is it obviously animated?
Why would they make another one?
Garfield.
Is Bill Murray in it still?
No. You're gonna you're gonna love who's voicing Garfield.
Well, let me guess.
Someone who really hasn't gotten the opportunity to do a lot of, really famous intellectual property characters. It's a small actor. He's named by Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt is doing the voice of Garfield. So the guy that did
I heard he did a bang up job in Mario Brothers.
Mario, the guy that did Lego,
It's
the guy that's in Jurassic
Mario.
Park, the guy that's in Guardians of the Galaxy, the guy he's collecting franchises the way that Thanos was collecting Infinity
Yeah,
Stones.
Jesus Christ.
He is
It's the same in
now.
every fucking thing. He's got no range.
I gotta say, man, I love Chris
He's
Pratt
the Wish
as an actor.
fucking what's the Deadpool guy's name? God damn it.
Ryan Reynolds.
He's the Wish Ryan Reynolds.
So listen, I think Chris Pratt is an incredibly gifted comedic actor.
Is he coming on the show?
I think he has some range and can play some darker
No
tonal
range.
characters. He has range. He was in Zero Dark 30. He played a great special operator in Zero Dark 30. Limited lines.
We don't have a lot of dialogue.
That's,
Yeah,
that's the,
not a
that's
lot
the
of
point.
dialogue.
They're like, dude, just stop
That's
talking.
the
Just
whole point.
stop talking.
We don't talk a lot.
But when it comes and look, I know in Hollywood names sell, right? So the idea that Chris Pratt is attached to this means it'll generate more buzz and more money, blah 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 blah. But there are really good voice actors. We've had a ton of them on this show, right?
Mhm.
There are really good voice actors who are
There's
incredibly
really
talented.
good actors in general that have multiple
Yeah,
ranges.
range. I want to specify this again. I love Chris Pratt. I hope one day he comes on the show. I think he's an incredibly good actor, incredibly great comedian.
I think he would appreciate us, saying that he's limited and
I don't think he would appreciate that at
one
all.
truth.
I think
You
I
gotta kiss his
think-
ass and say like, "Oh, you're really good at Italian impersonations.
no. Let
and
me
you're really
let me
good
get
at
it out.
portraying cats."
Let me
Is he
get it
going,
out.
"Meow, meow"?
Let me get it out. That I think he's an incredible actor, incredibly great comedic actor, diversity in roles and all that. I don't think he helps bring life to the characters that he voices. Maybe outside of Emmett in the Lego movie, because I think his voice was good for that.
It was
I think
good
it
for
played
that.
well for that. I don't think his voice added
Anything
a lot
to Mario.
to Mario.
Nothing.
I've watched the
It was just a
Garfield trailer.
name. It's just a name to put on
Yeah.
the thing to sell tickets.
That's so weird. Hang on.
I didn't watch the Garfield. trailer.
My TV just randomly turned it on. Hold on. I don't know if you can hear that in the background. My TV just
turn
randomly
on
by itself
Super
turned
Mario
on.
Brothers.
They're watching. They're listening.
Alexa, turn off the TV.
So yes, and yeah, Keith,
That's
his
sad.
his bloopers in Parks and Rec were some of the funniest thing. Like if you ever just sad, just watch Chris Pratt bloopers on Parks and Rec. They are the funniest.
Well, yeah, he
Shit.
did great on there, and I feel like his big thing was like, oh, he was fat and he got in shape.
I think
Now he's a funny fit guy, and it's like,
I here's the thing. I just don't think he's adding life to the character. Like he's doing the voice, like he's voicing them, he's reading them, he's acting them, I'm sure as best as he can. But like I don't feel like that you know what I mean? Like your voice needs to
as
elevate the
shitty
character.
as the Garfield movie was.
Bill
with
Murray's
Murray,
voice as Garfield.
It's like me if I did it. It's like, yeah, he's a fucking sarcastic, lazy cat.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what you need.
It-
Can
it-
Chris Pratt do that? No, because he's got like that'd be like you doing it. You have like a fucking optimistic, upbeat ass voice.
Fuck
It's like
you.
you can't do.
I
Some,
could
you
do
can
it.
sarcasm.
I could do
with-
Garfield. I could
No, you
I
just
could
sound
be
like you
lazy.
sound like you want me to rub lotion on my skin.
I can do Garfield.
Mm.
Oh,
No, you need like
yes.
that dry, like
ooh, that's a good Wait, who is the
Norm
better voice
Macdonald type
actor?
deal.
Scott, great question. Who is the better voice actor? Chris Pratt, Seth Rogen. Who is the better voice actor between
Seth
those two?
Rogen. At
You
least
think
he'll fit
so?
more. He would do a better Garfield than fucking Pratt.
It's like, I want lasagna.
Yeah, like, exactly. It's a fucking cat that has too much catnip.
The cat's high as shit.
Stupid. Why are they doing a Garfield movie? God,
Heath
that
is right. He's like,
Nickelodeon?
would you cat me? I'd cat me. That's
Oh,
Heath. That was for you, buddy. Yeah, I
Anyways.
don't get it.
It's so sad.
It's
Like,
it's
come
you
on.
know, we live in an era that there's
They
no
doing
original
Dr.
ideas.
Seuss again? Like, they couldn't
Careful,
get
Ja-
Mike Myers to do Garfield? He
The
needs
Rock
money.
just said his next project is the live action Moana.
I
So
know.
live action Moana's coming.
Forget that. Why are we doing live action Disney movies? Stop. Please
Because
stop.
it's an easy way to make money. It's an easy way to make money.
Hey, hey folks, stop wanting to see this shit. If it's garbage, you don't have to see it just because they show you the preview 700 times.
Scott,
Pay for no ad subscriptions. It's worth the money. Trust me.
Scott, that's a good. What about this for Garfield? Scott recommends Jack Black for Garfield. I
He
feel like
doesn't
that's
act
too
anymore.
high energy though. He's like,
Way
yeah,
too
I'm
high.
Garfield. Wow, shabba-da-doo. Like it's like getting Jim Carrey to be Garfield. Like it's too
Yeah.
much. It's too much.
Garfield's a lazy cat. It's like, I don't know.
I want
Colin,
Morgan Freeman to do the voice of Garfield. Well, Jonathan, I'd love lasagna today.
better than what they got.
In fact, you got after this, go watch the trailer because they've got Samuel L. Jackson playing. Imagine if I said John, like the other, like
Yeah.
listen here, Garfield. No, they
We
have
need to get the snakes out of the motherfucking
these,
cabin.
the goddamn lasagnas. I'm tired of your damn lasagnas in my motherfucking plane. No, they got Sam Jackson playing Garfield's father, of all things. So you get to meet Garfield, Daddy Garfield, and they got Sam Jackson voicing that. So, yeah, you know the usuals.
Is there anything
the usuals.
people want to see coming out, or
I don't know. Another
Anyways,
thing.
Good Burger's coming out? If you
Good
want to talk
Burger,
about
Good Burger
shit.
2. Good Burger 2. Get it right.
God damn it.
Not the original. No, while I was at New York Comic Con, I got to see something that I couldn't talk about at the time, but I just got the embargo lifted and I'm able to talk about it. I got to watch Godzilla -1. Weird name, but it's the next Godzilla movie, and it's made by the original people that like made Godzilla, the original company. So it is a very much a, Tokyo Japanese made movie, but it's done at like Hollywood budget, like AAA budget. It is
Like our budget or
no, like
Japanese
like
budget?
yes, like it's good. It's really good. Now it's all dubbed because it's shot like it should be in Japan and in
Well,
Japanese.
Good for them, but I hate the dumb.
I know. It's not. It's.
It's like,
I've played
How
video games
are
with you.
you?
I know you hate dubs. I know you hate
Yeah.
dubs because I play video games
I
with you.
was like to
No.
lose.
No, it's really, really good. Go watch a trailer of it. It
Did
released.
they give you anything to say it was good, or
I mean, technically,
people not coming on the show? Round 3.
I did get a couple movie posters.
I did get a Godzilla Godzilla poster coming at you summer.
Welcome to the show, Godzilla, everybody. But it's really good. Actually, I saw the movie, man. It's actually
Yeah, I
really
remember you
good.
telling me it's like, oh, it was good. Yeah.
It's better than, in my
So,
opinion, it's
when you
better
saw
than the
that
recent
movie,
Godzilla
and you
movies.
see the Monarch coming out. What do you,
I,
you
I
think
did
that's
see.
better or the movie's better?
I mean,
Based
but
on the trailer.
it's apples and oranges though. You know what I mean? It's like saying is Avengers better or is the Loki show better, right? Like it's
Avengers is better. I'll say that right now.
obviously Avengers is better. But I mean, but it's comparing two different things. It's a show versus a movie.
Well, yeah, it's the Americanized movie. So
Yeah,
I
it's
guess
an
we're-
Americanized version, and the Monarch is the Americanized version of Godzilla, and that legacy
This
of
one,
monsters.
it's
Whereas-
no, it's the next one.
Yeah, this is based on the original franchise, and I think it's Godzilla minus one is meant to take place like after the original black and white 1947 Godzilla movie or whatever it is, so that it doesn't have all the other extended like universe lore. But it's gorgeous. They did a phenomenal job with the CGI. Like I see shit like that, and I go, that's a team of people that were given the time and the budget to do a really good job because it looks amazing. And then you look at stuff like, again, no offense, but you just look at stuff like Quantumania and where everything's just blurry, blobby, which again, and I love the old excuse because we got that for the Flash too, of like, it's meant to look weird because, you know, it's distorted. No, you just didn't pay or give enough time to the CGI guys to do a good job because
Yeah.
it's just everything's
You
out of
rushed 'em
focus and
because they make a shit ton of money to do it, and you didn't
Yeah.
want to refine
well,
it.
they underpay the CGI guys, they overwork the CGI guys, and then they just throw it out there. You know, whatever's unfinished, they just and bullshit excuses of like, well, that's it's the quantum realm, and it's the nether zone, and it's the fucking Flash paradox, and that's why it's all looks like claymation, like a really bad version of claymation. It's like no,
You didn't pay to
it's
refine
shit.
it.
Yeah, it's
I would,
shit.
and if I were those guys, here's a insider tip: put dicks in there. They don't pay you enough to finish your product.
Just put dicks
Throw
in it.
hidden dicks in everywhere, and then
No.
create a book later and be like hidden dicks in movies.
All the hidden dicks in the movies.
You heard it here first.
Oh man.
Patent pending.
Yes, Scott says, did they get a real lizard to play Godzilla for diversity? No, for
course.
diversity, they went with a kimono dragon instead of a Godzilla.
Still a lizard.
Yeah.
Gosh,
No, hold on.
They used an opossum.
They
Did
went
an
with a possum. Yeah, they went with a possum, live action possum to play Godzilla, for diversity.
But all the iguanas are protesting. They're up in arms.
Heath wants a new Highlander so I can shit all over it.
Well, guess what? You fucking
get-
got it. And
getting
son
one.
of a bitch. Guess who's fucking playing them? None other than goddamn Superman himself,
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt's playing he's the new Highlander in
what's
his
name?
voice, not in a British or
The
Scottish
Witcher,
voice.
dude.
Yeah.
They
Henry
have a
Cavill.
Highlander.
Henry
Henry
Cavill.
Cavill is playing. He's pushing it, and supposedly he's the dude.
Well, like the next thing was supposed to be Warhammer 40K was like the next thing he was working on.
That's
So-
his next thing is the Highlander. It's
Yeah.
official.
We'll see. We'll see.
There can only be one.
There can only be one. So yeah, needless to say, lots to catch up on. Lots been happening. But I think for now we're gonna call it a call.
A show.
Yeah, call it a call, man. It's a call. Why am I getting more? Ooh, I'm getting emails about Iron Maiden. I'm gonna have to for review. Ooh, I'm gonna have to.
Iron Maiden.
I'm gonna have to
Nice.
check that out when I'm done with this. So yes, lots to come. I'm back to posting videos. So if you're seeing on our social media, my interview with Dee Snider, or actually not even my interview, our rock correspondence interview with Dee Snider is up on YouTube now, and clips of it are gonna be played throughout the week on Facebook, Twitter, X, Instagram, TikTok, all that. So keep an eye on Pop Culture Warrior and WTF Nation Radio because we'll have all that stuff coming out. I've got the interview with Hailstorm coming out this weekend. Just a ton of content. I am so backdated with content because of this strike. During the strike, I was traveling. I was still doing interviews. I was at MGS Con. I interviewed like 4 or 5 of the cast voice members of Metal Gear Solid and that whole series. So I have a ton of content that out of respect for the actors that were on strike, I didn't air any of it. I didn't post any of it. But now that the strike's over, I'll be releasing it over the next couple weeks, which is great because during the holiday season, it's always harder to get interviews anyway. So it's a great way to backfill some content. But needless to say, keep an eye on the socials because that's where we're going to have a lot of content. Let's do a quick second to talk about what's happening here at WTF Nation Radio. So just, you guys know the drill. You know the drill. But we got the sports bar Sunday nights. That's with King and Coach, bringing you the latest in what's happening in the sports world with all the sports balls and the touchdowns and the home runs and all that stuff.
Congratulations. You got a couple wins.
I might have beat you. Cut me off, but I might have beat somebody.
Mad Mike. You were at the bottom and now you're here, sir.
Yes, that's right. Don't call it a comeback. I'm here. I'm here now.
Hacking ass bitch.
It's all right. It's all right. We have the same record.
At least Coach is still fucking bottom of the
bottom. Nothing says I should be co-hosting.
He tried. It's like he likes the Jets and he's literally the fucking Jets. It's like, just can't fucking get the shit together.
Yeah, it's sad. It's sad, but nothing says I deserve to co-host a sports show like being bottom in a 12-man fantasy league. We love you, Coach. We love you. So bad. Start calling him Mad Coach now from now on. Oh man. So that's Sundays. Mondays is the Monday edition with Ice and Massey. The two of them have really been kicking things off, man. They've been really knocking it out of the park, man. I enjoy watching them. They have this very, what's the chemistry I'm looking for? It's almost like buddy cop, but like one's about to retire and one's new to the force, kind of buddy cop thing going on. And I really dig that vibe. It's a really fun gimmick to watch. That brings
Lethal Weapon.
Yeah, it's kind of they got a lethal weapon thing going.
Like non-lethal weapon.
Non-lethal weapon. I like that. And that's your news, your commentary, your discussion on what's happening around the world. Tuesdays right here with CQ and Mad Mike. It's Pop Culture Warrior. All your latest and greatest what's happening in pop culture. Not everybody gets it.
And we don't have to talk about the mailman and shit anymore.
We don't have to talk about the new iPhone.
Yeah, the more iPhone.
Did you see iOS 16 update? Oh, man.
Oh, my God.
So many features.
There's a new smiley face. But you won't get that information now because we have real news.
Yeah, you won't get that. You don't get that everywhere. Wednesdays, the Smoke Pit, Radar, and TZ are laughable, lovable, numbskull Radar. God bless him. I love him. I miss him. I miss you, Radar. I miss you so much.
You got a comedian coming up, I think, this week, right?
Yes. That should be a good one. That should be a really fun show. Thursdays is
not
Sergeant's
us.
time. Not us. Definitely not. Definitely not us.
Not that caliber.
Thursday, Sergeant's time. Ice and Spanky giving you all the latest and what's happening in the big army, what's going on in the military and the happenings and what nows. Talking about all the wars that we're kicking off and, dipping our toes in and playing with. And then we close out the week, Friday nights, Friday Night Freedom. That is Kaz and Pookie. Just kind of a roundhouse kick to your face to start off your weekend on the right foot, having a good time. So that's always a fun show. Let's bring us back. There we are. All right. Oh, did I not go away? Go away. There it is. We're back. We're back.
Take the graphic off.
Yeah. Buttons. Buttons are hard for me.
That sucks.
Hopefully next week my beard will start actually looking more like a beard. But for 4 days, I mean, not bad. I'm getting there. You've been working on that beard for how long now? 10 years? 15?
I just shaved today. I shave. I am gas mask ready all the time, sir.
You're mop compliant. You're just
exactly. Every good Marine.
That's actually a falsehood that you can get a good seal with a beard on. Like that's you can. Absolutely can. It's been proven false.
No, I don't believe it.
You're just buying into the lies that the Marines told you.
Believe it. Did Mythbusters do that?
Yeah. This is
No.
Mythbusters. Yeah.
False
there you go.
news.
Steven says, "Hey, he's CPAP ready. Man, you gotta be ready. You know, at all
I am
times."
CPAP ready. It's only on your nose.
You used to be gas mask, and now you're CPAP ready. Hey, it depends which version you have. I don't know. I've been told I'm getting to a point where I need a CPAP. I don't know. Do you rock the CPAP? You rock the CPAP?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Which you got the over, you got the under, you got the hook. What do you got? What do you got?
The nostril ones.
The nostril. Does it go over the face? Does it go around the face?
It's like no, it's just like a thing like this.
Oh, so it's
It's like
you
a,
got
you know,
the-
like if you wear oxygen, it's kind of like that, but it's
Yeah.
just like if you had noise canceling oxygen.
noise canceling. I like that. No,
I
there's
got the
different
2
versions.
beats.
There's different versions, dude.
Yeah, you can get the
Recently, I
Tom
saw this
Cruise
one.
fighter pilot.
Yeah, I just saw this one that is like just over the nose, but like, and because I think about how I sleep, and like the hose of it goes up and over. So like that way, like if
Oh.
you're like moving around, because I tend to move around when I sleep, it's not like strangling you in one direction or the other, because it's like up here, like it goes up and over. But anyway,
No,
very
mine's
different
just a
show.
nose, and then it's got a little strap, so I
Yeah.
still sleep on my side.
Yeah.
But that's it. And then they have a nose one, but it's like still like the tubes. So if like if you lay on it, it like cuts the air. And then they have the fighter pilot.
Yeah, I want
It's if you're a mouth breather.
I want like the full on scuba, like the old school
Yeah.
bubble helmet.
I need a full face.
They have the porthole in the front that
It's
opens.
just a bubble.
It's just a
Sleeping
giant
bubble.
fishbowl. I want to look like Mysterio from fucking Spider-Man, just a fishbowl on my head.
I don't know. It hasn't made no difference in my life, but
No,
they're like, "Oh, you're always tired," and I'm like, "I'm still tired. I'm still an asshole."
that's not that has nothing to do with your sleep. That's a personality issue. That's nothing
But I
to do
keep
with
telling
sleep.
them, "Just give me the cocaine, damn it."
just give me the mood stabilizers. I'll be fine. Oh man.
Some people like Coach uses it and said it
Yeah.
changed his life, but
Yeah. No, I
Not
know.
me.
I have a good buddy of mine who's a literal scientist. He's a doctor of medicine, but not no, he's a doctor of science, right? Not of like
I would hope
medicine.
he would be a
You know what I mean? Like he's got a doctorate
not
in
a
the
doctor of
science.
philosophy.
Well, you could be. You could be a doctor of mathematics. I don't know. Fucking whatever.
Be a doctor of anything doesn't
Yeah.
mean shit to me.
I mean, my point is, he's like a science guy, a real smart guy, knows big words, like 5-letter and 6-letter words, like big
What?
words,
No way.
big words. And but no, he said, man, like that shit saved his life. Like he was like, because they say like you apparently stop breathing. With certain people like stop breathing. He's like, I was having like 30-second episodes where you just don't breathe for 30 seconds. Like
That's literally what sleep apnea is.
Yeah,
Just
like-
not breathing while you're sleeping.
that's not good. That's
It's
not
just
good.
it goes mild to whatever severe, and you could die from it. My friend's dad died from it. So.
Yeah, that's not good. Yeah, I'm not that bad yet because I don't think I stopped breathing. I just snore a bit, but I don't know.
Still probably stop
Angry-
breathing.
Angry
You gotta
Elf.
do the test, you dumbass.
Angry Elf says, just get the CPAP. Join us. Be one with us.
Yeah. There
Join
was
the-
like a meme I just saw yesterday. It was like Darth Vader rising, and it's like when dads pull up their CPAP in the morning.
You know, like the face hugger when they pull it, and it's just got the strands. Like that's what I want to see. I just want to see that, like that saline just drips down.
Just air. Not drooling. Ew. That's
It's got-
what
it's
the
got-
fuck kind
it's
of
got
sleep
that-
do you do?
You don't Vaseline your face
Everyone
beforehand.
doesn't have plastic sheets.
You don't like dip your face in oil beforehand. And, like,
No, you have other issues. If
Grease
you're
it.
leaking that much fluid while you're asleep, you do not have sleep apnea. You have a viral infection.
I think because it's like doesn't it has like the humidified air or something like that? Like it doesn't have like a thing. So I always assume there's like steam.
It's like
and like
back pressure, basically, is all it is, and it's filtered through water, so that
Yeah.
way, like, There's
I always think-
moisture. It's
You ever
backpressure.
see-
It's like
you
an
ever had the-
exhaust system. You know
the
your car.
thing-
Well, you don't know how it works, but your car exhaust creates back pressure for the motor. That's all the fucking
Yeah.
seatbelt machine does.
I like you know those machines that you put water in it and it like steams the dresses. That
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
like that. Just plug
My
the shit-
insides are so straight.
my
I'm like
my
totally
intestines
clear
have
on the
no
outside,
wrinkles.
but my insides are perfectly straight.
There's no wrinkles in my intestine. It's just smooth. Like it's like
Just the
tubing.
most straight intestine ever. You must be. You have sleep apnea, right? You totally use your machine all the time. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh
Welcome
my
to
god.
Pop Culture Warrior, where we enlighten you. on all
Oh
things science.
god.
We're very sciencey here.
Oh Jesus Christ. I could
Guys,
just I
This
could
is
just
why we were in the infantry, folks.
smoothest insides ever. just
Nah,
just I just poops just
Totally
come
not much
shooting out that
smarts.
tube because there's just no ridges. Just
just slide. Church is like, you know, when you go to the playground, they have the really fucking big metal slide that goes straight down.
better. I got better for you. I'm thinking like Olympic luge. It's just and it just shoots out the back.
The fucking water slide at the theme. It's like,
It just comes right at you.
you
Oh,
fucking, you know,
Jesus.
your swim shorts go up your asshole. It's like, that turd just flies out of the bottle.
Yeah. Yep. Yes. All right.
Jesus
I think
Christ.
it's definitely past our bedtime because we have
So
lost we've lost the thread.
Is that pop culture? We just learned some people.
We mentioned Darth Vader, I think, at one point, so close enough.
Real quick before you
Yeah.
go,
Yeah.
we've been playing the Marvel Zombies, or not Marvel Zombies. Jesus,
Modern
Christ,
Warfare
it's Marvel.
Zombies.
Modern Warfare 3 zombie mode.
Yes.
Marvel Zombies would have been way better.
Way better.
It's a game we want.
Yeah.
But anyways, what do you think about that?
There's parts of it I like. There's parts of it I like.
It's way better than the original ones.
Yeah. So, okay.
It's not
so
like the Doom shoot 'em up. Like we just kill a butt ton of zombies.
yeah. So for those that know, because here's the thing: people that love the zombie, like they're passionate about that. Like the people that love Marvel, like Marvel Warfare zombies, Modern Warfare zombies. God
I
damn
knew I
it!
was gonna mess you up too.
God
Modern
damn it,
Warfare
man! Modern Warfare zombies. People that like the Call of Duty zombies, those round-based shooters. I know guys that will play that for hours and hours and grind, and it's like it's mind-numbing for me because you're just like running the same lap over
Same
and
scenario.
over and
like
over.
Nothing changes. It's always
Nothing
the same
changes.
thing.
It's like this literal rat running in the fucking wheel. So it is better than that in my opinion, right? Because it's open world. You're doing missions. You're completing contracts. You're doing objectives. There's a tier system. Like with that round base, like it just keeps getting harder and harder and harder. There's no way to like back off where you're like, oh, this is too much. I need to back off. It's just you do it until you die. So this obviously allows us more skill based where you can kind of go, push forward. That's too challenging. Let me retreat back, and that's kind of the fun of it. That kind of cat and mouse. If I'm being honest, I kind of prefer DMZ. I like more
They
of
did like kind of like DMZ is more challenging. The PvP, like
Yeah.
and then just the missions itself.
there's
It's like
always
they kind of
that.
added the missions to this.
Yeah,
Well, they added challenges
yeah.
where it's not just like kill 150 zombies, but
Yeah,
it's like
I'm not
I
seeing
think
the
they
missions.
should add the PvP
Yeah,
and then like type like kind of similar DMZ missions, and they'll
Yeah.
be really
The-
good. But it's still way better than anything they've done.
the difference for me is like with DMZ, you have that constant threat of like somebody sneaking up on me.
Yeah.
Like this is,
Don't come
like,
near me, bro.
Yeah,
Don't come
you're-
near me.
you're always worried. Like think about it, you're like car. Like everybody gets down. Like
Yeah.
like there's this always this threat of this looming thing. And then with the missions, I always felt a sense of accomplishment of like, okay, go here, collect the thing, return it back, activate the thing, go there, like it really felt like you were completing objectives. And
Yeah.
with this so far, this very early, and remember these things evolve over time, but right now, it's too easy in the sense of like you're just shooting randomly and
It's
it's a little too
drive
arcadey.
around in a circle.
Yeah, and that's my other point is that
Kill 10 zombies.
there's no
and-
threat of a player, and then there's no like
Well,
missions.
it doesn't even really tell you like, oh, you finished it. It's like you have to go check, and it's like, oh, I have finished that.
Yeah,
Like, at least
Yeah.
in DMZ, it's like mission accomplished.
yeah. It's definitely. I'd like to see give it 6 months, right? See what
Yeah,
they
like,
do with it.
Hopefully they'll twerk it.
You know, but right now it's very broken in a lot of ways. I told you this earlier. Like, I got to final exfil, and the chopper just never showed up. Like, I'm just standing there like an ass, just waiting to get extracted out.
Kind of a big deal. You guys really missed an important piece of this.
Kind of important to be able to extract from the mission. There's
But yeah, I
that.
still lose all my stuff.
Yeah. There's a lot of audio issues, like a lot of audio issues. So like zombies, like because I play with headphones on, so I am supposed to have the super crystal clear directional fucking omni whatever directional whatever, and it's like I'll hear a zombie 800 meters away over there, and then I'm getting smacked in the face, and I'm like turn, and then I can hear the zombie that's right like in my ear, chewing on my neck, and I'm like I should maybe hear him.
Mine's the opposite. It's like always in my ear, even though they're like, no matter what. It's like, oh, there's a zombie on the map.
Because the audio's broken. No matter where on the map.
Like, there's a zombie right there, and I'm turning around, and like nobody's near me, and it's like
He's
what the
inside of
fuck?
me.
The other thing, they all sound the same.
Like, am I the zombie? Is that the sound? Am I the zombie?
Yeah, so it is for me. I'm like, Jesus Christ, what's going on? Here?
Yes. Hey, good night, Steven, man. Appreciate you, buddy. And
Anyways, it's fun.
no,
It's
yeah, and, like,
different take. I think it's better than the campaign.
I mean, what campaign mode? But yeah, no, it's like it's a fun distraction. It's a fun thing, I think, to throw in the rotation. But I, you know, like I said, I don't know how much
DMZ or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know how much longer I'm gonna keep playing it until there's more
To do.
content. And like there's reasons again, not to extend the point, but like there with DMZ, there's reasons to go to different locations and to really explore the different locations and see like the hidden elements. And with this, it's just flashbang 5 zombies and then, okay, drive over 10. I'm like, I don't
Yeah.
feel a need to
There's
explore
no
the
need
map
to
and
go.
learn
Yeah,
its
that's true.
secrets and all that. Like it's just
It's like they don't make us. Yeah, we never had to go to the other realm. Like,
no.
what do they call it? 2 and 3
Yeah,
or
tier
whatever.
2, tier 3. Now I'm sure as you progress through the mission objectives, right? It'll be kill 10 zombies in level 2 or level 3 or whatever. Like it'll force you to progress forward, but it just doesn't feel like even with DMZ, even from the very beginning, yeah, it started out highlight a contract, right? Successfully exfil. It was very easy, but pretty quickly you're at a point of like, okay, complete this mission and to develop the story and do this and this and that. And, you know, I feel like we've been playing it for a couple days now and we're still stuck on used cryo bullets to slow down 10 hellhounds. And it's like,
Yeah.
been doing this for 3 days.
And you could have very easily, like, you could have tied a story, like,
Yeah.
DMZ does, like, oh, you have to get these classified documents
Yeah.
because, you know, these agents need it. He could have done the same thing and, like, explained why everyone's zombies or whatever,
I think to their credit, it's like, why bother? Like, we don't need to because you'll play it anyway.
Yeah, it was just trying to make
Just
money,
go
but-
run around and do shit. Like that should be every objective. Go around, do some shit, come back, do it again.
We gave you this, enjoy it.
Yeah.
while you
Here's a
can.
gun. Here's a bunch of mindless zombies. Go shoot them and repeat over and over and over.
Microsoft will fix it later.
Yeah. So again, not bad. It's fun. It's that nice side distraction.
And it's another reason, like, it's a bonus for paying $70 a game.
I don't know if it's worth it, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it's
But-
fun.
Alrighty. Well, that was a great discussion. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate each and every one of you for hanging out with us. As always, I'm CQ. He's Mad Mike. And this has been Pop Culture Warrior. We are out of here. See you guys next week. Don't forget to follow the Patreon, do the thing. And
Subscribe to the thing.
yeah, subscribe to the thing. Win yourself a Robert Downey Jr. signed poster, man. Do me a favor, win it. Be awesome. Do good things. All right, guys. We'll see you next week. Shots.
Doc! Oh, no! We're too late! We missed it! Oh, jeez, this is heavy. Ah, wait a minute. Wait a minute, Doc, I got a time machine. I'm just gonna punch in the coordinates. Pop Culture Warrior, Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on WTF Nation Radio. Now crank this bad boy up to 88 miles per hour.
Let's see it.